and then as soon as you leave, they do it, and then they're in trouble. So it's like, we don't know what happened. Somehow a set of lights got out of the box, plugged in.
124 episodes ago, they said it couldn't be done. They said we wouldn't do it. They even said we shouldn't do it. Well, this is the 125th episode, and welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 125 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. It is navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we also provide tech support from time to time. Isn't that right, Dynamo?
The Deadites inventory here is getting thin, huh?
It is. It's getting real thin. Speaking of thin, we don't have Tiny White with us.
Nope.
Which is a shame, but we lost one and we gained another that is...
Aesthetically, this is a win.
Yes, probably. So we'll get to that in just a second, but we are here. We're Trick or Treat Radio. We are live right now. If you're watching the live show, if you're listening to the podcast, then you missed out apparently. So
You fucked up and lost.
you fucked up and lost. We're a little late as usual. Once again, unforeseen tech issue. Apparently, the token for YouTube expired in XSplit, and I had to re-up that, and I was having issues with that. So there you go. But we are live. We're going to talk about two films. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting discussion.
I'm excited.
The movies.
Ooh, I'm excited.
You're always excited.
Yeah.
That to you on silver
I know, yeah. Definitely hand things to me as the show progresses.
Man,
So
I just threw up in my mouth. It's like putting a pot of gold next to a pot of shit.
Hey!
is that like saying the shit you took today is better than the shit you took yesterday?
No,
Mean, man.
it is mean.
We
Life
have-
is mean.
For anyone watching the live show, the Castle Wolfenstein got a little bit of a revitalization this week. Yeah. You can see over there we got the Man of Steel poster that Professor J donated to me.
It's true.
We got a new Chikara poster. We got a poster from the Arkham Film Society, Demons and Popcorn.
That was a great night.
Yeah, it was a great joint.
How'd you get that? How did he give you that?
I went and hung out with Josh last night, and no one else did.
We get a lot
That
more
guy's
time than the
got
rest
lots of
us,
friends.
Johnny.
That can't be that much of a commodity for him. Did he say? Did the sentence start with "if you go away"?
No, Josh likes me.
He made you watch Play Dogs.
He did. He also made me watch some horrible Christmas special
Was
last
the
night.
Santa Claus meets the Lollipop Bunny on that thing?
We watched a very horrible Christmas
no.
special over the weekend.
We
Nope.
did. We had the second annual Deadites Trick or Treat Radio office Christmas party.
I was going to say, how is anything that has to do with the Deadites only second annual? But I guess if it's Trick or Treat Radio related, then it
Yeah.
would be. Yeah.
We watched the most racist cartoon of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be it then, because there was a really racist cartoon.
Oh yeah, you weren't there yet.
No, I didn't see that.
Did it have people from all over the world
Yeah.
and their cartoon interpretations of them?
Was this animated by Michael Ravenshadow's mind?
Hey! No, I was one of the ones saying this is inappropriate.
Monster Zero laughed so hard that we thought he was going to die.
Oh, was it that, or was it for something else he laughed at?
No, at that. Like, I
Okay.
really thought, like,
Yeah.
at one, it stopped being funny, and Miss M was like, I think he's going to fall down.
Yeah. That was bad times.
Because every single time, like, the very poorly depicted African-American child would come on screen, he
Oh,
would burst
man.
into hysterics, and every time the Asian
when
American or European person was doing laundry, he would burst into hysterics. And then the children were too poor to get toys, so Santa made them toys out of trash and appliances that were just around.
Okay, maybe I did see that one.
Which made Tiny brought up a good point that the children were going to get beaten when they got back because they destroyed all the appliances in the house.
Maybe I did see that one. It was like from like the 40s or 50s ish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
From 84.
Early onset color animation.
So when the guy dressed up as Santa Claus,
and
too,
then it had
right?
a real Christmas tree at the end, right?
It was umbrellas, right?
Yeah, but then they
Yeah.
showed like a filmed Christmas tree umbrella.
Okay, yeah. So I did see that was on Josh's his compilation.
The funny thing is, you went to the Arkham Film Society to see that.
Yeah.
That was in Tiny's DVD
Yeah.
collection.
We went upstairs.
Or was it Snappy's? Was it
Yeah,
Snappy's?
Snappy. He was
Snappy
kinda
was there.
running amok.
You missed Snappy. You missed
I hope-
Miss M.
I hope Tiny's not showing that stuff to the kids.
Oh, maybe.
No, they were there.
Yeah, it's true. You missed Snappy. You missed Miss M. Yeah, you missed Andy Christ.
I did see Andy Christ
Did
for
you
like
see Andy
half
Christ?
a second,
Yeah, you missed the greatest game ever invented,
which
which was me and Tiny in front of keyboards, and Andy Christ would say something that, like, if you ever look at the track listing for one of those 70s horror films, they'll say like almost these arbitrary. Yeah, you were downstairs for that, right?
Yeah. It was
It was
awesome.
awesome. They'll say almost these arbitrary things, right? Like, my favorite track on Escape from New York is Over the Wall.
yeah.
And another good one is President's Crash. So Andy Christ made up a track name like that, and
Yep.
Tiny and I had to write the track,
Oh.
like right on the spot. So it was very good. My favorite of all of them was The Doctor is Not What He Seems.
That sounds
So
like
they
a
were good.
pretty-
I wish we
pretty
recorded
fun
them
game.
because, like, I don't play keyboard a lot, but I have a little bit of chops, especially when the type of keyboards we use in 2014, I just have to hold them down and turn knobs.
The funny thing is, though, those keyboards are about like 30 years
Oh,
old.
yeah. They're older than me, which is
Yeah.
old. Well, not old. Well, maybe not older than me.
The only video we have is Aries running amok.
It's true. But it's all messed up because you took the video. So Michael Ravenshadow took a video, and when he tried to show it to us, it was somehow sideways and upside down.
Yes, he did try to show me that.
But Aries, after we were done playing, went over and pressed one of the key buttons, and a million keyboards started making noise at the same time.
Unbelievable. You can't even work a keyboard or
I am
or a
unbelievable.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're unbelievable.
Oh. So before we go any further,
Yes.
I feel obligated to introduce our guest.
Please, I think our guest requires a special
Yes.
Word.
introduction.
Anyone who listens to the show knows that her name and Miss M's bum gets brought up in some capacity every single week.
Together?
If I could make that happen, you just ruined my whole train of thought. I can't even think anymore.
Let's go to commercial.
She is unfortunately my buddy, my business partner.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for her. My buddy, my business partner, one of my favorite songwriters in the whole entire world. She has a great taste in clothes, film, music, and not boys. Ladies and gentlemen, the front woman of the Evil Streaks, co-founder of DynaMyra Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Myra.
Thank you. That was a very nice introduction. I'm glad you liked my clothes.
I love your clothes. They would look terrific all over the crypt floor.
Jesus. She's even right here, and you're talking like that.
I just pretend that didn't happen.
I talk like that at dinner.
I know. That's the problem.
It's not a problem for me.
My Nana wasn't comfortable.
She was, but she told me to try it.
Hey,
What? Oh, I wouldn't have put it there without permission.
who's next, Johnny?
But yeah, so Myra is a trooper, and she puts up with me pretty much daily. And my sexual harassment is, while honest, comes from a place of love.
Okay.
You say that you sexually harass me, but you do not.
I do.
No, you do not.
I just did. I don't know if you
That's all.
if you watched the replay.
You do
Listen on
in a
Friday.
public. You do in public forums.
Yeah, but it kind of
Even
not.
in front of your special lady friends.
Yeah, not to
It's
get you in
a-
trouble, but you kind of flip the script. We won't talk about what the main, like, one of the main conversations of dinner was. But like it's
Yeah.
not always my fault. Sometimes how can we say, serve it up on a silver platter?
What do you mean? I don't know what did I say?
We'll talk on commercial break.
That's like your new gimmick, Raven. This is exciting.
It is exciting.
Trying to, like, you know.
Yeah, but you said it for like the last 3
You
weeks.
and Steve Mongo McMichael.
What's what?
Yeah. So, for those of you who haven't heard about DynaMyra, basically what I am doing as an old, washed-up promoter, I'm leaning on somebody that is smart and exciting and relevant to make good shows happen.
Who?
And that is Myra.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Kim Jong.
Kim Jong-un. Don't talk about him.
Well, no, we could use some publicity. So
the other change will shut us down.
I'm gonna get bombed.
But yeah,
We're gonna try to give Worcester a little kick in the pants.
it's true. And Myra, in my opinion, is the best and most clever marketer in the business. So even an old dog like me has something to learn. What we're testing out tonight is her taste in films. There's one of these two films which may cause us to get divorced right here on Live and Living Color.
So you know something that we don't know already, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know.
He knows nothing.
No, I know. If I had $1 for every time I heard her say that, I'd have $1.
So let's jump into that and tell the folks what we're going to review this week. We are going to review
Congo, starring Bruce Campbell, Bruce Dern,
and
Bruce Lee,
and a big ape,
and a big ape suit person.
Nope. We are first going to review The Canal from 2014. And then later on, after that, we're going to review Cold in July, which is directed by Jim Mickle, based on a story from our boy, Joe R. Lansdale, right?
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's our boy, though. I don't think.
Yeah.
Is he your boy, Myra?
Well, he's our dude. He's our dude in the way that Justice is Ravenshadow's dude.
Yeah,
or Ambrose is my dude.
Yeah, exactly. We like his stuff. That's where it's coming from.
I highly recommend Late Phases to you, Myra.
Late Phases?
Yep.
Is that
It's the film from last week, which though it wasn't by Jim Mickle. It starred Jim Mickle's frequent collaborator as star and writing partner. I don't remember his name because
Nick Damici.
Nick Damici, because he's he's done a lot of great stuff, but he's always going to be Ambrose to me.
No.
okay.
He's not going to be Mister from Stakeland?
No, he could be. See, that's a good one too. You
were telling me about that one.
Yeah.
I haven't
He's-
seen that either.
Basically, in those two films, he's an old, crotchety old man that fights monsters, but he's two different
That
characters.
sounds familiar.
Gimmick
Come on now.
infringement.
Couldn't you be nice to me just this one show while we have company?
Sorry, I'm doing the administrative stuff here,
Okay,
letting people know we're live.
Speaking of fighting monsters,
Yeah.
now that I'm here, I can ask you guys.
Oh, well.
There's one monster hunter
yeah, you've
here.
only got, don't ask us guys, unless
Ask-
you mean me fighting them.
So not all of the Deadites fight monsters?
No, these
It's
guys
just-
like push paper and stuff.
So it's just you and Tiny?
In Miss M.
Okay,
In
and
Round
Miss
Trip
M.
Jones.
Okay, so how come Tiny's always on special assignment and things, but I never hear you going off fighting monsters.
He goes off like a water wiggle.
Yeah,
And
I went
then I want to know about Miss M, because that right there is a really interesting, cool story. Like there's got to be a backstory there. I want to know it.
That's
And
a long
we
story.
we never hear about it.
So-
No, that is a long story. Miss M's father.
But you still have to answer my first question.
I go on lots of assignments and stuff. The other day, I went to go pick up sorbet for
That was
the
just-
script.
I drove you to the Big Gulp.
Yeah, we went to get a big gulp.
She drove you to the Big Gulp. You know what I see? I see Dynamo going into like a fucking Lazarus pit full
Yeah,
of
sure,
fucking
Big
soda and taking his cup.
I have a new soda addiction. Remind me later. So Tiny goes on special assignments because Tiny, without his mask, no one knows who he is. So he can get close to things. He's good bait. Nobody's going to. So say you set up a tent in the middle of the woods. No, smart werewolf or prehistoric bear or whatever else is going to attack Tiny White.
Prehistoric bear.
But the unassuming milquetoast, hatchet-faced person that he is under that mask, it's like, oh well, this is slim pickings. But we'll have this little gamey piece of meat. Then the mask comes on and he, fillets things. Plus, a lot of time these special assignments don't involve monster hunting; they involve frozen dairy products too.
Yes.
Like that dude is constantly at sorbet festivals.
He was in Hawaii for a while.
Yeah, he was in Hawaii. Guess what he was doing in Hawaii? Sorbet.
No.
He's
Pineapple and
doing
coconut.
sorbet.
Yeah, pineapple and coconut sorbet.
Yeah.
All day. That's what I do.
So
And-
what is it? Where is he tonight? Is he at?
He didn't say. He
is
just said he
doing
wasn't
sorbet?
coming.
Or okay.
Probably watch a racist Christmas cartoon.
He fucking loves those
man.
things.
He loves them.
Yeah, unfortunately, no Tiny. He is not here this week. I'm sure that we'll get. I don't know if we'll get a voicemail. He may be
that would be great.
indisposed. He may be
Yeah.
indisposed, so he may not be able to.
Because there's both of these films I'm interested to hear what he thinks.
I agree.
Yeah. As far as Miss M goes, her father originally funded the Deadites, Max Matrix, but she was trained by her father but wasn't going to be a monster hunter. She was just a lawyer. And then something happened that destroyed our original base, destroyed her father, and destroyed Round Trip Jones, and brought in Miss Matrix.
There you go.
And she has been reluctantly involved since then.
And she reluctantly has to hang out with Dynamo.
Oh, she loves it. I touched her bum at the party.
Jesus.
As soon as she turned around mad, Tiny was like, "It's not me." And she was like, "I could tell by the way my bum was grabbed who it was." Which means that each one of us have a specific groping technique.
Oh, my God.
That was like the creepiest thing ever.
on the ride over?
Maybe we should...
on the way to the Big Gulp.
Yeah, maybe we should introduce everyone here.
Thanks, Johnny.
That was the creepiest thing ever?
I don't know. That was up there.
It's going to be a long show, Myra.
Yep. Sorry,
you're gonna have
Myra.
2 or 4 more creepy things.
Myra, next time maybe you should just Skype in, and that way you can just hang up whenever you want.
I could come over to your house and we could Skype in.
We could run the cord to the living to the outdoor area.
Because my boyfriend will be there.
Oh, Snoop.
Well, not if we not if we record after like 9 p.m. because I think he has bedtime.
That's okay for Dynamo over here.
He is handsome.
Dynamo.
He's too young for even me though.
Stop it.
All right, let me go ahead and introduce everyone to the show. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. We also have the old codger, the immortal gunslinger, singer, lyricist for the Deadites, Dynamo Mars.
Codger's a good word.
That's pretty good.
I'm a big fan of codger.
No Tiny White this week, as we said. He is out killing monsters. He actually he sent me a I'll get to it in a second. He sent me a message.
He is not.
Text
I
message.
guarantee you, he is not killing monsters.
You don't think so?
No way.
Okay.
Hopefully, he's buying me my Christmas present.
What did you ask for?
Man, I gotta trim my mustache. It keeps getting caught in whatever this thing is. And it hurts.
That's a pop filter.
Yeah, it's like a dull razor, is what it really is.
We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, hot pocket loving, comic book reading nerd, and the official smoke machine for the Deadites, Michael Ravenshadow.
You goddamn right, motherfucker.
Why'd you call me a motherfucker?
Sorry,
Jesus Christ. That was rude.
It was
awful.
rude. It was rude. I
That was
apologize.
really
I got
fucking
Myra
rude.
here.
And those movements that you made got me off the most creepy thing that's been on the show so far.
Well, I'm sorry. I panicked.
You
Myra's
looked like
here.
a rapey snake.
You like that?
What a wiggle?
Yeah. You see my Panther impression?
Panthro?
No, not a Panther, a Panther. I walk like this.
Wow,
sometimes.
Wade Boggs knocked down.
Jesus. For all the
Wade
amount of time.
Boggs.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Wade Boggs.
Number 26, Wade Boggs.
I
Excited.
remember watching those shows, Channel 38. Kicked out of the
WSBK.
house. Yep, listening to it through the... baseball for me when I was young was like radio because I was always listening to it from like outside.
Your parents made you watch the baseball game outside?
No, my parents made me get the fuck out the house all the time.
Oh, wait. Tiny did. He actually commented on Michael Ravenshadow's sharing the live show.
Oh shit, Michael Ravenshadow did and I didn't.
Yeah, he says, "Have fun, guys. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but these trolls aren't going to kill themselves. Every Christmas they try and ruin shit for everyone, and every Christmas I make an extra couple G's taking them down.
Nice.
I guess you could say it's
Gangsters.
become a tradition."
I think he's intimidated by
break a leg.
Myra.
He might be.
He's not used to like a writer, being around a writer of this level. Certainly not me.
Well, for whatever reason, he's not here. So
Whoa, what's
we need
happening in
to.
that picture?
I don't know. It's
Whoa,
just something on
whoa.
my feed. We need to soldier on here, though. We have a lot to talk about.
Jolly Fourth.
I was just thinking that.
Really? That's a little
was-
weird.
I
I was
was
telling.
like-
I was
I
actually
was
telling
just-
Myra at dinner, like, I'm a little nervous about when I've been watching these films and realized that I think that for like the third week in a row we might be on the same page.
maybe. You're totally spot on the Peter Parkinsons from last week. I totally had that saved for a long time.
I know you have. You just fucking fired it right out there.
All my improv is pre-planned.
Or stolen.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. All right. So that's what's going on tonight. What else? Oh, so yeah, I did go hang out with Josh at the Arkham Film Society's VHS for Christmas. He basically put 2 hours of Christmas specials on a VHS tape and played it that way. It was pretty outstanding.
Was the Pac-Man one there?
Yes.
Was that awesome?
Oh shit.
It was pretty fucking ridiculous. There was the Pac-Man one. There was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, which was borderline offensive.
Why?
Really?
Yeah.
We were over Tiny's house this weekend.
Yes, but I didn't see that. It had that one that you guys watched at Tiny's.
That was a bad one.
It had one from Ralph Bakshi called like Christmas in Tattertown or something like that, I think it was. It was
Tater Town?
No, Tattertown. It came, I think it played on like Nickelodeon like 92 or something like that.
Were they all short?
None of them were longer than like half hour.
So we didn't have the one where Santa Claus was a white slaver?
I didn't see that one.
That one's on YouTube. It is on YouTube, but it's on Netflix 24/7. Basically, Santa lives in heaven, apparently, and he has kids, a small faction of children from every nationality up there.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole beginning of the film is him essentially taking inventory while he plays a wacky Dr. Phibes-looking pipe organ.
Wow.
He's like, the Portuguese children. And then they're like doing very stereotypical Portuguese shenanigans. The Japanese children.
Playing soccer?
And of course, the Japanese children. And of course, he goes, bum, 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 bum. But then he gets into a fight with the devil later on.
Well, that's pretty cool. Does he beat the devil?
I've never got past the point where the devil makes a little girl break a window and steal a doll. It's one of those weird movies where there's no dialogue. It's all mostly like narrated.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's really strange. The devil dances at one point.
Did it have the G.I. Joe Christmas special when Cobra Commander shrunk down his army as like toys and they invaded like a G.I. Joe base? It was like there was a skeleton crew.
Because it was Christmas?
Yeah.
No,
and
I don't remember that.
It was, yeah.
Sounds like the one where they invaded in the comic issue, like in issue 13 or 14, where they invaded and only Sergeant Slaughter was there.
Well, that was later on, but yeah.
Cobra Commander and his posse rued the day they did that.
You can't fuck with Sergeant Slaughter.
So, programming note, I just want to mention this.
Programming note, we will not be going to see the interview.
Yes. We'll not be reviewing the interview because we can't go see it in theaters. No, programming note is that the next 2 weeks we have holidays or I guess holiday eves on Wednesday nights. So we are going to shift the episode one night earlier. So if you're going to join us live, you can join us on Tuesday the 23rd and Tuesday the 30th because we don't want to compete with Santa Claus or that New Year's baby. Because they preempt them for us, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to be the heels.
What New Year's baby?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some icon. We got Santa.
Dick Clark.
Oh, he's dead.
Really?
No, he should be.
Ryan Seacrest.
Are you sure he's not dead?
Wasn't he missing? Oh no, he did die. He did die.
No, that was not. No, I don't think it was Dick Clark that was missing, was it? It was.
No, he
Dick
was.
Clark, yeah.
No, he did
That
die.
was Dick Dale that was missing. No.
No, the Hawaiian guy.
The surf guitar player. I don't believe he ever went missing.
Dick Clark died in 2012.
Yeah, but somebody recently was missing. Who was that?
Casey Kasem.
Oh, yeah, that's
Casey
right.
Kasem. Yeah.
Okay. Did he die?
Yeah.
Really?
He got found, and then I think he died.
Oh, that's right. He died on my birthday.
Yep.
Well,
Oh my God! All right,
I didn't do it, folks.
Oh,
No, he was cool. I like Casey.
yeah. Voice of Robin.
That's right.
Voice of Robin. Shaggy. Voice of himself.
Voice of himself.
Voice of Casey Kasem. What's Casey
I
Kasem?
can't believe that I've
Form of a
waited,
Ravenshadow.
Yeah.
waited 125 episodes to have my favorite lady in the world in the studio, and this is what we get.
Yep.
Sucks.
Hopefully the film reviews will save it.
Yeah, let's go to commercial.
Myra, thank you for calling in your Babadook review. It was very enlightening.
Not thank you for calling us Babadufuses.
That, yeah, I had to. It was just there.
And
Yeah.
not specifying the love you for me.
The what?
Oh,
She said,
yeah,
like, I love you. And I got
told
Ravenshadow,
told
like,
you
got all
guys that I
fluttery-eyed.
loved you guys.
Yeah, all of us, not just you,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, but we all know that's not true. At least not Ravenshadow.
Hey,
He's nice. He's a nice guy.
yeah.
Sometimes
I've been on stage with Myra. We've had some moments.
when he's not running people over.
One time that happened.
You ran someone over?
No, I wasn't here. No, I didn't. I had
No, he did.
I had a problem with Skype, and it was snowing out.
Oh, we
I
don't-
had my car in the shop, but
We
they
don't-
I heard that
And he went to
episode. They were very
Missouri.
upset
We don't
that you
need to
weren't here.
rehash. We don't
they
need to
made some
rehash.
things up. It wasn't my fault.
We didn't make it up.
I don't even know where Ferguson is.
He's in the room next to Clarissa.
All right, we haven't made any further advancements on our contests,
Or
unfortunately.
content, quite frankly.
Yeah. So we have 2 contests ongoing.
Why
we
can't I
have
spell July?
we have the XSplit contest, and what you can do is you can win a 3-month license to use XSplit. Maybe Myra can talk about this because she's seeing this like cool XSplit and all the stuff that we can do. It's pretty. It's the hotness, isn't it? When you say Myra,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm looking at it right now. You can
we can look
see
at this.
us
We can
live. Oh, look at you.
Whoa,
You
we can-
just change the 2
Boom.
movies that we're going to be
Yep.
talking about.
change cameras. We can. We can show the flyer that Myra made from
Oh,
November
My
1st.
flyer.
So all sorts of stuff. It's pretty great. So if you're into live broadcasting like us, if you do something along those lines, if you want to do one of those Let's Plays, or in the case of our friends at Haunting TV, they do a Watch Us Die, you can check out XSplit. And if you want to enter this contest, we currently have no entries. I almost hesitate to say because I don't want people to think that
Are you sure we're looking at the right email?
maybe not, maybe. But no, if people want, they can go ahead and let us
fly
know
screen.
what their favorite horror movie is.
You should get a show and an XSplit license because you would be a huge sensation.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
What would I talk about?
I don't
think
for me,
people-
you wouldn't have to. But like in reality, you could because you are so smart about all the things that you're smart about.
Is it? I think
you.
it's a compliment.
Yeah, I'll take it.
No, she's smart about. I mean, she's. I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know
I'm
if she's
sm-
smart?
I'm smitten. Can't spell July.
You're still trying to type.
Yeah.
You never know how to spell July.
There's no W in it.
So yeah, if you want to get in on the XSplit, we yes.
There you go. It's exciting.
We may extend it a little bit because, you know, with the holidays and everything like that. But as of now, just make a video. Let us know what your favorite horror movie is and why. You can record it using your phone, using a webcam. You can use 35 millimeter. You can use 70 millimeter, 8 millimeter. We don't care what
Fucking
format.
9mm?
No,
Click,
no,
click.
no.
No?
You want someone to shoot us?
Well, Monster Hunters. I mean, some werewolf.
You can use
what?
any format you want and just put it up on YouTube and then send us a link. And we will judge, and then the winner will win a 3-month license to use XSplit Broadcaster and Gamecaster. You really can't go wrong because it's pretty awesome. And we also have another contest. If you buy stuff on Amazon, I know we have like a couple shopping days left before Christmas comes up here. But or you know, if you're Jewish, we're into Hanukkah already, second night tonight. So you know, you still get a couple days to buy some gifts. Go to trickortreatradio.com. I'm going there right here on the live broadcast. Go there, and then you can click on the Amazon link. Just scroll down a tiny bit. It's on the right-hand side. Support the podcast. Click on that. Anything you purchase using that link in that session will net us a small percentage. And you don't pay any more. We just get a percentage of It's basically like advertising for Amazon.
Right.
They're like, here, have a cut, have 4%, have 5% of what this person just paid. So,
And for all our, look at it this way, for all our amateur Lotharios in the audience, Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
oh, there you go.
And the contest will be done by then. Your purchases can be, made way out ahead of time.
By
so
now, yeah.
Oh shit.
you could buy a lovely lady, a lovely thing, and or a handsome dude, a handsome thing, and
Which one's Ravenshadow? Handsome lady?
I think Aerosmith made a song about it.
Hey, except for the mustache.
Janie got his gun? That one?
We could only wish.
All right. The other way you can enter, actually, if you don't use Amazon for whatever reason, maybe you enjoy going to
Maybe
the
a
store.
communist.
You may be a communist. You may be Kim Jong-un.
Come on.
You can click the donate
Too
button.
soon.
We've obviously learned he's vindictive.
Well, hey, like maybe we can get a little bit of rub off of it,
Yeah.
I feel like we're slowly creeping back, like politically and artistic expressionly back to 1987.
Us?
Like the world.
Oh, okay.
Because, over the last, 10 or 15 years where it was back to being the Wild West again, there was definitely, what was that, Team America? World Police?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He wasn't pissed off over South Park.
Right. Yeah, and all that stuff. So, but now it's now we are concerned.
Do you think it was all right, one more fucking movie, then I'm gonna fucking hack him?
Well, that was Kim Jong-il.
That's true. That's a good
So
point.
maybe he has a sense of humor.
Is that the same guy?
No, it's his son. I think it's his son,
He looks just like the other guy.
Kim Jong-un.
Well, generally, unlike your family,
Yeah,
you look
people
like
are
the guy who
diff-
delivers
No,
the
no,
mail.
but
People
no,
are different, Ravenshadow.
they're not the same dude.
No.
Are you and your dad the same dude?
No, but we both have beards.
Well,
He's got a little gray
he
hair.
probably did get porn on his phone from
We both
looking up
can't
the
use
radio.
technology.
Yeah.
Hey, Myra, can you use Skype? Do you know how to use that? You know your password?
I'm sure she could log into it
Yeah.
if she got locked out of it, unlike some
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
What?
So
So smart.
So there you go. If you want to go ahead and enter that contest, go ahead, just buy something using our link. And what you need to do is, this is very important because we haven't got emails from everybody yet. If you buy something using the Amazon link, you need to send us an email and let us know what you bought. And that way we know who's who, because that's the only way to do it right now. So unfortunately, it's the way you got to do it. So podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Send us an email and let us know what you got. And then we'll pick a winner. Each thing you buy, each purchase, no matter how small or big, gets you one entry into the contest. And also, if you want, you can go ahead and just donate money if you don't use Amazon. Use the donate link on trickortreatradio.com, and that'll also, for every $1, we'll do it that way. For every $1 you donate, you'll get an entry. And then we're going to pick a winner and have a huge prize pack. Hopefully, I know I've been saying this for weeks, but hopefully we'll have some more information on the prize pack next week. All right. So I think we've done all the housekeeping. We talked about the contests. We talked about the show being on Tuesday the next couple of weeks.
We're going to have a guest next week.
Oh, is that confirmed?
Yeah. It's
Cool.
been confirmed. Dude's been waiting since July.
In the mic. You're talking to the
I'm
pop
sorry.
screen again. It's okay.
And it's not like I have any love for the pop screen either.
If you want, you can get rid of it. Just don't talk right up against the...
I know what to do. I've done a few of these.
Have you used that particular mic before?
I don't know, as long as it's not that fucking weird sideways one in Bill by Force's studio.
It was
hate
this
that
one,
thing.
actually.
Oh,
The
I
one
hate
I'm
that
using right
thing.
now.
How are you talking out of the front?
Oh, maybe it was a different one then.
Yeah, it could
This is
be,
the one
'cause
I think I use.
Yeah, this is, and that one you had to talk sideways.
You had to talk sideways? Is that like John Constantine talks like backwards?
Could be.
That's Satana.
I can't remember what we were talking about now. Thanks. Somebody line
Mike's
mics
pop screen.
pop
screen.
screen
Talking
Pop
about
screen.
contests.
Pop screen
contest.
sounds kinda
I was
dirty.
gonna say something. Guest. Thank you.
There you go. Fucking smart. Thank you, Myra.
I'm disappointed that was the creepiest thing that she's ever heard me say a little while ago. I can't believe that's true. for
Speaking
one
of,
second.
that's funny that
Yeah,
we're going to
we
have
have
a guest,
a guest.
for next week.
So he has been waiting since all the way back when we reviewed Locke.
Yes.
Joe from the House of Horror podcast is going to
Yep.
come on to review The Guest.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
Snoop.
And he is a great guy, very funny, can hang with us, which is not easy to do. As far as making fun of me anyway, he's good at that.
It fit right in then.
Yeah, he'll fit right in. He's perfect. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to review The Guest. So it should be good. And another film we'll talk about later.
Yeah, I'm super excited for next week's show. Honestly, I'm really excited for tonight's show because these films I think are going to be good discussions. But next week, I don't know. Like I'm just really looking forward to checking out The Guest.
Me
It's
too.
been a long time coming.
Before I got divorced earlier, I was pretty sure I was going to go home and watch it right away. But
It hit VOD yesterday. So on the 16th of December, it hit VOD. So
because it was supposed to come out in like July.
yeah, it came out in theaters in like July. And
What the fuck's going on with this thing?
yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm out of sorts. Where's Tiny?
All right, so
Tiny doesn't think I'm creepy.
Yeah, he does.
all right, we need to cut to a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the Canal. Did you watch it, Ravenshadow?
What?
The movie.
I did.
Okay,
I watched them
good.
both.
All right, good.
There's some cram jamming.
Ravenshadow, what do people do in December when they're cram jamming?
Good question, Johnny. What I'd recommend is going to the fridge and get some. You want your eggnog cold, okay?
I haven't had any eggnog yet.
And I want your sake warm.
What?
I
You
want you to
what?
get I want you. Listen to me.
Okay.
Your eggnog cold.
Okay.
I want your sake warm. I want you to get a big cup, put them together, make a couple of Nagasakis,
Oh.
whip out your Yule log. Don't get your tinsel and a tangle, and I want you to strap on.
You know we have another show before Christmas. Right?
Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electro-shock band, the Deadites. Available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello, darlings. It's your favorite whiskey-drinking, litigious, singing, dancing fantasy girl. Want to reach out to me and the world's greatest monster-hunting multimedia organization, the Deadites? Log on to Facebook.com/The Deadites. It's got all the info you need to follow the world's greatest monster hunting band, like live appearances, info on your favorite Deadite, music, and all the links you need to our new weekly multimedia and all our side endeavors. Too many letters on Facebook? That's okay, sugar. Just follow us on Instagram and Twitter @The Deadites. Hope to see you soon, and we'll leave the lights off.
And we are back. Ravenshadow, of course, is out smoking a butt. And we're going to talk about the Canal. Let me go ahead and run down the stats on that. And then when Ravenshadow gets back, hopefully he'll be ready to go. The Canal from 2014. This film is 92 minutes. It is a horror mystery thriller. It is directed and written by Ivan Kavanagh, and it stars, let's see here, Antonia Campbell Hughes, Rupert Evans, Steve Oram, Hannah Hextra, Kelly Byrne, and Carl Shabin. I think that's how you say that. And the synopsis here on IMDb is film archivist David has been having a rough time lately as he suspects that his wife Alice has been cheating on him with Alex. This is actually kind of a bit misleading.
Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah, you know what? Let's skip it.
I think he was oblivious, actually.
Yeah. We just, by the way, Ravenshadow, we got our boy Ozzy's in here, so we made it to here.
Oh,
Hold
shit.
on, we got a special guest.
Yeah, we do. Oz.
So for those you watching live, you can see the Oz man is hanging out on the podcast now.
World's cutest dog.
Yep. He just wants to get at Myra.
He really does. He's fucking
It's unanimous,
ravenous.
Ozzy.
And he smells my kitties.
I think he wants to smell your puppies.
Really?
Thanks, Jerry Lawler, circa 1998.
Yeah.
Me and Jerry Lawler steal a lot of material from the same person,
Who?
Hetty Youngman.
Oh.
And oh my goodness, his name escapes me right now. This is so awful. I realize when I go back and do notes how old I'm getting because I can't remember anyone's name.
Oh my God. He's insatiable.
The insatiable Spider-Man.
Yes.
All right, so
Animals love you.
yes, Dynamo, you do love Myra, don't you?
I do. Like, you're making it all base and gross, but well, maybe I'm making it gross.
Yes, you are. You
But
do
I-
a good enough job
Yeah,
yourself.
but I love Myra.
We could hear Ozzy getting a little affection in on the mic.
I had a very good conversation with our good friend Andrea Lannen over very recently, and she said it is obvious to her how while some members of the panel who try not to be sexist come off as sexist because their views are so archaic. It is very obvious of the love and appreciation and respect I have for the Myras and Miss M's and Andrea Willanens of the world.
Why are you looking at me?
I love how you try to justify it. It's good.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, but in telling us, you are. Yeah.
I know it. I know how much I respect them. They may not know it.
They might not respect
Their
you.
lawyers may not know it.
Yeah. The court might have a different.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump into this film.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Canal. Does anyone want to lead here, or do you want me to
You
do
can
this?
lead.
All right. I got some.
I have one piece of business to get right out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, and I told Myra this recently, and I think she may have agreed.
Okay.
This film had an opportunity to be the best movie ever. Okay? So the father and
Oh,
son
I know-
are
okay, I know
outside
where
of
you're
like a
going, yeah.
haunted thing, right? Okay?
Yeah.
And the son goes, Daddy, if I throw a rock in there, can I throw a rock in there and see if a ghost comes out? If that kid threw a fucking rock in and a ghost came flying out with a fucking hatchet, this would have been the best movie of all time. But that is unfortunately not the film we got.
Nope. So let me go ahead. I got some stats here, some information. Filming for the Canal took place in Dublin, Ireland, during the summer of 2013, with funding from the Irish Film Board.
Which I think also had a lot to do with grabbers.
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 Yes. Ireland's tax incentive for films and television. While creating this, so that's pretty awesome. I don't know if other countries have that sort of tax incentive.
Maybe
but
Locke, too.
It seems like Ireland has some really good incentives and help for getting art. You know, maybe not just films, but just art in general, I think. So that's pretty fantastic. But just a note about the script. When creating the script, the writer, Ivan Kavanagh, he decided to draw upon his own fears and wrote the script in a start-to-finish manner, which seems, I mean, I guess that's pretty odd. Like, it seems like it would happen more frequently, but the fact that it got called out, I guess.
Yeah, no. I write I usually write backwards, and I know a couple. I'm putting in air quotes because the other two people that do this, air quotes for myself. The other two people that do this are actually like real life screenwriters, but I know a couple other people who do that because for me, it keeps me focused. You know, it's too easy for me to, my characters end up in the proverbial coffee shop and won't leave.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. So he started on page 1 of the script. And he also wanted to focus heavily on the movie's sound as he wanted...
I don't believe that, though.
What?
That it was written like that.
Okay. Well, I'm just reading from Wikipedia, basically, so...
I thought that it was written like Asian horror Mad Libs.
Can one of you guys escort Ozzy out? He is... he may try to hump the guest if we don't stop it.
Don't worry, Ozzy. I'll be out soon.
Oh, don't just open the door. Yeah, he'll go. Michael Ravenshadow may. Oh
God,
may get bit.
If he does, Ozzy.
All right.
Ozzy's gonna have to go see an oncologist now.
And he also wanted to focus on the movie's sound as he thought it would be as important as the picture. And he did not utilize any pre-recorded archived sounds, which I thought was pretty awesome. So there is some actual real-life Foley going on here for this. So as the film starts, one thing I thought was interesting is I actually really love the opening of this film. I thought it was a perfect way to open the ghost film. I can't remember exactly what they said, but he basically asks the audience if they're ready to see ghosts because, he sets it up and was like, we're going to watch a film from the past, from the 1800s or whatever, and these people are all no longer with us. So essentially they're ghosts. Are you ready to see some ghosts, That
was great. That was great. And very creepy.
Yeah. So, and just even the way it was lit, you could see, I think there's like a red background, is very dark. It just looked very cool. I think it was just a cool little setup for this because he's speaking to the actual audience and in essence talking to us. Are you guys ready for a ghost film? Basically, I thought that was a nice little touch.
You should have said it like the beginning of Monday Night Football, though.
Are you ready for some ghosts?
Are you ready for some spooky? Some dead folks gonna come out of their grave and be kooky.
Phantasms.
Yeah.
Nope.
Phantasmagoricals. I made my own scoracle.
So we have, let me get the names right. David and Alice, a couple who Alice is pregnant and looks like they're just recently married or something like that. And they're looking at a house and they go look at this house and, he has Alice go in, looks at it. She likes it. And then we fast forward 5 years. So I actually thought that was really kind of unnecessary. Did anyone else think that was kind of extraneous?
What does that mean?
Too much.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you could have said that. You're going to be fucking smart.
Well, I got to make up for you.
Hey. But yeah, like I was waiting for more of a, why'd it have to be 5? I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you.
It just, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's not going to affect my thoughts on the film, but it just seemed a little odd. Like I just don't know if it was actually needed. So and also David is a film archivist, whiwhich made me think that this film is
hella cool.
Yeah, it's hella cool and makes me think that it was based off of our boy Josh's life.
Oh shit!
Because he does some film archiving and
I don't think Josh I think like even the ghosts would get pissed at Josh.
Why?
He'd be like, "No, actually, this is how you properly bang chains."
Bobby chains?
Yeah, no. You would know how you properly bang chains. But.
One time. I don't want to talk about it.
So
show was rough.
Pretty quickly, it jumps right sort of into the meat of the story here because I think when they go 5 years later, the first night, Alice gets a text message like late at night. And, he's like, oh, who's that? And then the kid comes in and they sort of stave off the conversation for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And he goes, takes care of the kid and he comes back and he's like, oh, who was that? And it turns out it was someone from work. Yeah. So we get that. And I think already David may be a little slightly suspicious.
I learned a
Or-
lot of not what to do's in this film,
Like what?
like how not to get caught.
And you're gonna enlighten anyone?
in like in like my adultery techniques.
Oh Jesus! Is that what it's come down to, Dynamo?
What?
You have to resort to adultery.
225 shows, and you're just figuring out that.
125.
Yeah, that's not.
Well, I started before you guys. I just didn't know without
That's what
Johnny.
you say to all the girls.
Without Johnny, I didn't know. No, that's
was going for
Garrett. So
So I think Alice is doing a really good job of seeming indifferent towards her husband. Like you can tell, like
she was a bitch, right? Like that. Like that's all there is to it.
yeah. I mean, maybe the 5 years ago was to show sort of what they were like when they were new and and recently married and stuff. But
She was a very I don't know if this was like cast that way intentionally, but like she seemed like the type of woman that she turned out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way she handled herself at like the other small amounts of mundane elements that you showed, like how dismissive she was, and
yeah.
she was almost in plain sight, right? Like she really didn't do a good job hiding what was going on.
Oh, right. So they basically go to a work function. It's Alice's work. They go to a function, get all dressed up to the nines and do all that. And one of her employees, or not employees, but coworkers, comes by, and David goes to get a drink, and he looks over and sees her, with this guy who's sort of, a little gropey, and looking at her, giving her the eyes. And I think David gets a little suspicious, even more so, and then so she notices that he's looking over, and she comes back. And, she's like, oh, let's dance. And, and then she gives a very, sort of hollow, I love you when they're dancing. And I think she's doing a pretty good job of making it appear that she's not totally into this dude.
Yeah, and David's a pussy too.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think even the night of the text message, after the kid goes to bed, she offers up some boots knocking to kind of placate him a little bit. And I wonder too, I wonder if in her work environment, if the husband role was kind of downplayed, because that dude who looked kind of like J.K. Simmons, who rolled up to him, was quickly like, yeah, whatever, I need you to meet somebody. Like, I wonder if in that secret identity, maybe he wasn't talked about a lot, because that first guy took her away.
That's the worst. I actually had a girl who did that.
And then the Svengali kind of jumped in.
Yeah.
Svengoolie,
but everyone seemed to really dismiss David's role.
I think that's like the worst of all relationship sins. I think that's like I think it's better to be a whore. Like, just put it out there than like do the like pretend that person doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Especially with like a husband, right? Like,
well, and and the kid and everything,
Right.
like. So
she didn't look like a mom.
No, she definitely didn't.
No.
The dress was work appropriate, though.
Oh, come on. See, we actually talked about that. I'm not sure, right? Myra, who I feel is like
You're talking about
a kind of a gothy fashionista here.
dress.
It was like blue and
But I think she was like going on a date. I don't think she wore that to work.
no. At the party dress, right? The one
the
that was
party
like
dress.
blue. It was like a blue and like a hot boy color blue and like an aqua green.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that was necessarily like.
It was more it was, I don't know.
It was like red carpety, right?
I think. What that
But
was.
let's put it this way: I trust your fashion more than just about anyone, right? For lady folk, right? Would you wear that to an event? That particular
I
one?
personally no.
See,
So it was a bit much, but
I mean, I guess it is kind of a black
tie.
tie event. It looked just kind of slutty to me, right? Like it's cut very high.
I mean, I guess
seen
if you look
people-
around at the other people, long skirts and
Right.
drapey type things.
It wasn't very. Maybe it might be the angle, but it's not. Who are we? Like,
That motherfucker right
It's
there.
Leonard Maltin.
yeah.
He's the first dick.
Yeah,
All right.
he definitely, everyone in this movie kind of made him feel like he didn't matter, and
Yeah.
Right, because even later on, after what goes down,
and
like
even after they did it, they knocked boots, and she was like, good night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's not what you all do.
So, I mean, I guess this isn't too spoilery because we know what we're getting into, but do you think this is a concerted effort to make him appear like a ghost, like as if he didn't necessarily matter and people just went about their business around? I mean, obviously he was there, but
he's not very assertive in real life. The only place where he is assertive and like comfortable is at his job, and that's why he has kind of a groupie there. Like he's at like his best when he's in front of those like editing machines and running those reels and developing that film and cataloging things and talking about it. Like that's where he's most comfortable. Everywhere else, he can't even like hold his own. And if you look at the person who his wife ends up with here, he's got a ponytail, a douchey ponytail, and he's
without
obviously
that pop filter, you're really popping the mic. What, are you just scowling at me? I'm telling you the truth. I hear popping. It's like a fucking masquerade. All right.
Mouth closed shut.
So anyway,
I think we need to move a little past this point because this isn't really, this is sort of the setup, but there's a lot more to discuss.
It's also, unfortunately, for my money, like we're heading towards the point where the film stopped being very interesting.
Okay. So David is obviously a little suspicious of what's going on. And, he asks his wife, he's like, hey, I want you to come home early tonight because she's always working late.
Right.
And he asked her to come home early one night. And she's like, oh, I'll try. And so he goes to her work, watches her leave. She leaves with the dude that she was, talking to at the work function. And he follows them further and sees her enter his house, and he ends up going in. No, he goes home, doesn't he? Yeah, he goes home first and then decides, like, he puts the kid to bed.
No, he forgot to pick up the kid. That's the only reason he leaves.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He forgot to pick up the kid from school.
Which I thought was kind of a dangling plot thread, too, because if he left the kid at school till nighttime, that, like, punches a hole in his alibi if they looked at all.
Right.
Like, where was he that he picked the kid up so late?
Yeah, that's true. So from that point, he goes back. He puts the kid to bed, picks him up, puts him in bed, goes back and stalks his wife and enters into the guy's house and then sees him knocking boots. And so he grabs a hammer and, you think he's going to do something. And
which he should have.
Maybe so. Who? Both or?
Yeah, both.
Then he'd be in trouble with the police. The police,
I got bad news for you. He did anyway.
So at that point, he
could have made a Freddy Krueger-esque "somebody's getting nailed" joke.
It's hammer time.
Yep.
He ends up leaving.
Yep. This is for Asgard. The store has a hammer.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So he ends up leaving, and he doesn't do anything. And he goes, as he's going home, he stops by. He feels sick, so he goes. There's this like public restroom that's like
allegedly haunted,
and it's like covered in graffiti. He goes in there and this disgusting looking toilet, and pretty much throws up in this disgusting toilet.
That public bathroom, everything about that whole little like 100 square feet was very much like a Clive Barker story. Like it reminded me of something out of Candyman or.
Yeah.
Actually, now that we have it on here in Castle Wolfenstein, so there's one point I want to go back and mention. So, before he finds them, her cheating, he ends up at work, gets this video of these
film.
Yeah, exactly film of crime footage.
Yeah, it was like procedural footage.
Yeah, it ends up being from his new house. Back from 1902, there was a murder, and he does a bunch of research and finds out a lot more about it. One thing I thought was interesting, I'll use this opportunity to note that the director, Kavanagh, experienced difficulty with filming the footage for the 1902 reel because he wanted it to look identical to Louis Lumaire's Feeding the Baby. I'm not familiar with that. Has
Nope.
anyone seen that? Okay. So he tested out different camera formats before finally filming the finished product with a 1915 Universal movie camera, and he used the lowest speed black and white 35mm stock he could get his hands on. So I thought that was pretty cool because he wanted to make it as genuine as he could, you know. And it looked pretty cool, right? By all intents and purposes, it looked awesome. So,
Boy, the boyfriend is such a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, she traded down.
It was a very nice, like, kind of Betsy Johnson looking dress, though. I thought.
It's a beautiful dress.
I like that.
Yeah.
well, the boyfriend's got a nice ponytail though.
Yeah,
Or-
so
or
douchey.
pony nub.
So douchey.
So at this point, after he sees them
He was
knocking,
really well dressed too. This dude, like, he just seemed to have it together. She really fucked up and lost.
so after they're knocking boots and he goes back and he's vomiting, he's sort of visited by someone, right?
Yep.
And this gets to the point where I don't want to give too much away, you know, because there's a little bit of the Babadook going on where you can go one way or the other, or
This was a creepy scene for me, though.
Why?
Well, I thought with the when he came in the stall.
Okay, I
that
thought
was
you
kinda
meant
creepy.
like
Yeah, that was
I thought you meant her going into this house.
No. Like what happened? You know,
Sure,
the,
sure.
The stall scene.
Yeah.
Was creepy.
yeah, it was pretty creepy. So, you know, he has already sort of, I guess, opened the seal by watching this film footage from the 1902 crime footage that was filmed at his house, or where the crime took place.
What kind of took me out of it, and this is kind of it bugs me. Where
Okay.
really in the last couple of years,
Okay.
the whole like moving into a house and be like finding out that a crime scene happened.
It's like it's every movie.
But it's impossible. Like I just don't. I think we're at a time frame like where you would know that. You know, like.
Well, you'd have to
why
research
would you?
it.
Why would you know that?
Well, I think because people fucking talk. Like you know, like the fucking like. All right.
And today on Channel 7 News, this is the anniversary of that one murder that happened at that one house.
Well,
87 years ago.
Well, that's a big thing. Like, take it recently in the New England area, the shit that was happening in Blackstone.
Yeah, but that's
The
now.
house. Well, this is. I mean, Ireland is in 2014, right? I'm not sure.
But what I'm saying is that if shit happened in that house 89 years ago, like it allegedly happened here.
It would have to. No, full disclosure. Because I'll tell you something right now. If I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. When I had my home inspection for my house, in the fine print, it says that the home is not covered for supernatural or hauntings. It actually says that in the fine print when you have a home inspection. And I'm looking at it and I laugh and I'm like, you guys don't search for ghosts? And then he laughs and he said, "Oh, you read that?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's a home inspection."
Yeah.
He's like, "No one ever reads that." I'm like, "How long you been in business?" He's like, 20 years. I'm like, "Oh, shit." But this full disclosure, like a fucking radon test. You have to tell people, like a fucking Carfax. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you have to say shit.
But he
ran amok.
said that the person lied.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I might have been getting.
He
this
said that
He did,
he said that the nanny, the woman that was there first, the real estate agent told him that it was an old woman that went senile, but she was young.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't have home inspections in Ireland.
I guess not.
That's why they have fucking time to fucking fund movies because they fucking don't have, real legislation.
Myra, I just figured out this whole thing. By
Sorry,
the way.
Myra.
Yeah?
You know how the whole time at dinner we were saying that this lady traded down?
Yeah.
What were we saying about Irish boys?
That guy, wait, is that guy Italian? The boyfriend?
He looks, that's true. He does
is
look
he?
kind of Italian.
What
Though I could tell you, I wish I thought of this at dinner. I can guarantee you that blows your Italian theory right out of the water.
You guys, like, it's like an in-joke. Like, we don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
we did the show earlier. It was much better.
Yeah.
Why'd you record it?
Yeah. Myra has been told over the years that people that are Italian have big ding-dongs.
I have to.
It's very accurate information that Myra has.
This all started because your special lady friend brought it up, talking about Irishmen. And I told her that I didn't agree, and I heard that about Italian men.
Or the Irish Curse?
That's pretty much
Yeah, is it the Irish Curse? Is that what you got, Dynamo?
See?
I don't have the Irish curse.
So something happens in the restroom when he's vomiting.
And again, this was all Super Clive Barker.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I don't want to say too much about it because this is, if you're going to see this film, this is one of the things.
But part of my review is going to punch a hole in you not wanting to say anything about it, so maybe you just oughta.
Nah.
Okay.
You can punch a hole later. I guess this is a good point because we're watching the scene right now in the public restroom, and
There you go.
this film is really fucking gorgeous, and it's really well lit, and I don't know, like I've never heard of Ivan Kavanagh, and apparently he hasn't done a whole ton. Have you seen any of his stuff, Dynamo?
No.
He's done Tin Can Man, The Solution, Our Wonderful Home, and The Fading Light. I haven't seen any of them, but I don't know. He's got a really good eye for filmmaking, I think, and just even like look at the lighting in this.
He
scene
might have
and
a
everything.
phenomenal DP.
Sure, but I think part of that is knowing what to look for, and knowing who to hire and stuff, because it's not just up to the director, of course, but I think at the end of the day he makes the final call usually. So, but I think it's a really good looking film, really well lit, and a lot of times, some of the sound design is really phenomenal in this.
That's great.
Yeah.
So from this point on, David starts to go
Crazy.
yeah, he goes a little crazy. His wife, this isn't too spoilery because it happens pretty early on, but his wife goes missing, and she's found dead. She is washed up in the canal, and pretty much I'd say 3/4 of the movie is trying to unravel what happened. The police sort of figure out what happens pretty quickly, but then after that, David is trying to find out what really happened. And
Police Inspector Josh Gravel's dad was kind of a jerk here, though.
Yeah, he was kind of a dick early on.
Yeah.
that guy's awesome. Steve Oram, he was in Sightseers. Have any of you guys seen that yet?
Yep.
Ben
Here,
Wheatley?
No, I have not.
He reminded me of the Irish Donald Logue,
I
who
could see
might be
that.
Irish.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he isn't in it very long, but he plays a really awesome character, I think. Plays McNamara, that's a funny sounding name, huh?
Yeah.
It's fucking made up,
Speaking
dude.
of Irish curse.
And he kind of reminded me of the cop in Clockwork.
Aesthetically, I see that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Just
like,
all right.
Well,
That
the
was an
guidance,
uncomfortable humping technique that they were going through in that room.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Like it was like the NCW sex pin.
Because if you get pinned like that,
You fucked.
yep.
But like I just don't know, like that's little things like that take me out of the movie. Like, we don't need like the ultra realistic "Are you done yet?" But like I don't know, like,
the apology.
yeah, to be like, I don't know, like they were moving out of rhythm, and it just looked like fake bad movie sex. Like it looked like Cinemax sex.
Okay. So, Dynamo, you have acid reflux, don't you?
Yeah.
Does your belly make good noises like the Detective McNamara?
No. If it did, I probably wouldn't have almost lost my voice permanently.
So Alice, his wife, she dies. They have a funeral and all this stuff. And once again, the mother, I think it was Alice's mother. She asks David. She's like, "Oh, did you hear about her boyfriend? He was really broken up about this." And then she's like basically saying to him, "Don't you feel bad for him?" Yeah. And he's like, "I don't give a fuck. Like,
Right.
why? Seriously, like, why would you even ask that question to?"
Because it just was kind of sinking home that he doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He incidentally fired a lucky shot off and put a baby in that girl once, and that was all. That was all he was to anyone.
yeah. it's just crazy that I know what they're getting at. I know it's a film, they're asking, but like, why would anyone ever ask?
How many fucking
that?
movies in 2014 are we going to see this shot?
What shot? Tell the folks.
This multiple people going through a field looking for the dead body, like the combing the field shot.
We ain't found shit.
Every season of The Killing.
Right.
Yeah.
So at this point, David gets a nanny full time to come spend some time with the little kid Billy, Sophie, and so there's one scene when he's doing some investigating to find out what really happened and what's going on with sort of this ghost type stuff, and that coincides with the film archive footage that was, that he'd been watching. There's that scene when he sends the nanny and his kid Billy to the hotel, and he's webcamming with the kid.
Yeah.
That scene was fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, I
Really?
loved
I
it.
kind
Yeah.
of caught up in that.
Have you guys watched any of these ever?
You didn't think that was horrifying?
I thought it was horrifying. The first couple, Ring remakes that I saw shit like that happening, and Paranormal Activity, and every Blumhouse movie that's come out.
Well, I haven't seen any of the Paranormal Activities, so I don't know. But is there a scene where a father is like helpless to do something and his kid is basically in a room with a ghost like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a million. Like all those movies are, all those movies are set up like you're watching something on a webcam, either after or while it's going on, or some sort of camera, and you see some spooky shit happen around a kid.
Okay, I guess I just haven't seen any of them then.
I guess we'll fucking
I haven't
assholes.
seen any of the millions of them.
I saw the Paranormal Activity.
Mm.
That's, I think, the only one that I've seen that
The
you
first
mentioned.
one.
But I found it pretty creepy.
How about another movie that I feel like this was, I won't say ripped off because I don't know where the productions fall, but has anybody seen Sinister?
Yes.
Yes.
I have not.
Sinister, I feel like there was some shit like right out of that. Like this looked better, but it doesn't take away the fact that it was very similar.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I haven't seen too many of those Blumhouse films, so maybe that's sort of the standard Hollywood horror stuff that's going on now. But I thought it was a creepy scene, and
This was very contemporary for a lot of things that are going on in TV and horror right now.
Mhm.
Like Raven Balls mentioned The Killing,
yeah.
and probably the biggest movie of the year might have been, or one of the bigger movies of the year was that Gone Girl?
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
A lot of this, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Again, like this was probably made in unison, but
Mhm.
a lot of the tropes like that are, especially in those Blumhouse films, like that use technology in that way, like a more effective version of that web camera thing, I think, was has anybody else here seen the first Insidious?
Yes.
Nope.
There's a phenomenal scene with a baby monitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just, I feel like this movie was part those movies, in part like J horror, Mad Libs,
Okay.
mixed with those more edgy. I don't want to say more edgy, more cable TV procedurals that are out
Mhm.
right now, like The Killing, and there's another one that is escaping me. What's the Kevin Bacon one there?
A following.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
know, like
yeah.
with a lot of interrogation and a lot of.
like cat and mouse.
Yeah, but like there wasn't like, it was almost like going through the motions, cat and mouse here, I thought.
Well, there's a particular line that the cop says, maybe in this scene right here.
Yeah, it is the
where
scene.
he makes. I'm not gonna say it, but like, you know the line I'm talking about.
Right.
How it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, in that, and there was pretty much a line like that, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of Insidious 2.
Yeah.
Like it kind of just opens with this whole kind of the wife being interrogated about the husband's innocence.
All right, let's spruce things up here. Who would win in a fight? This kid, Billy from the Canal, or the kid from the Babadook?
Oh, I hope they both fucking
Babadook.
drown.
Babadook kid.
I hate both those fucking kids.
He would use his trebuchet and
It's true. No, that kid was fucking. You're right.
He tied down.
He was good. Much like Michael Ravenshadow, he was good until he opened his mouth.
Hey.
Yeah, no contest. This kid is kind of helpless, I think.
I am so heartbroken right now.
Why?
Because there are two people here who my horror respect could not get any higher.
Okay.
And I feel like we're elevating kind of some mid-card material here.
What do you mean? You want to talk about this movie? You don't want to be done with it?
No, it's boring. This movie was boring.
It was fucking long. There was a point where wrap it up.
Yeah, and not just that. Like I feel like there was nothing in this film, not a single thing. Maybe a revision, and sometimes that's what the genre cinema is in a lot of ways. Like the movie that we are going to talk about later certainly has a lot of brothers, cousins, and sisters and stuff like that. But like, there wasn't anything in this movie that I hadn't seen before, like recently, like in the theater in some cases. Like I felt like this film was very. I think earlier today we were maybe it might have even been with Myra. I was talking about contemporary punk bands and how they all kind of like were just so derivative of each other that they were hard to tell apart. And like this is kind of like I feel like the Irish version of those American films and those Japanese films, both in imagery.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like think about The Grudge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about how much this film owes a film like The Grudge.
Yeah.
Think about... I feel like, Wolfie, if you had seen any of these horror movies, and most of them aren't worth seeing.
That's sort of why I haven't gone out of my way.
I mean, the first Insidious was certainly good. And the second Insidious certainly served the first Insidious, but is useless if you haven't seen the first one. But, like, I just feel like this was Mad Libs. This was like there's two types of tribute bands. There's a tribute bands that's just a bunch of dudes that go out and sing songs, and then there's like, Flock that puts like a spin like on it, that sarcastic spin on it, or like, an all female Ramones cover band, like, and that's kind of what this was. Like it had its own feel because it was very Irish cinema, very like even to a certain degree like European cinema, but like it wasn't any of that to hide how much it was these other things, how much it was kind of a ape in the Blumhouse stuff and ape in the J horror cinema. And again, much like, though this was a better film, much like The Congress that we talked about last week, the most interesting parts of this weren't the genre parts.
Okay. Well, let's see. I guess
she
that's
was even well dressed dead though.
The ending though, and once again, since I haven't seen a lot of those Blumhouse films, I don't know if anything like this has been done. But I feel that this was the ending that I want a lot of those Hollywood films to have, and they never do. I thought it was pretty brutal. Like it's you don't see too many films that end this way, and maybe you can tell me I'm wrong because I haven't seen a lot of those contemporary horror films that come out in theaters. But did that surprise you?
The Foley sound effects certainly surprised me. But again, Sinister, which had like a slightly different punchline, definitely played to the the kids, spoiler alert, the kids getting killed and the kids being influenced by ghostly, outwardly situations.
Okay.
Which was another thing. But I mean, forget about that. Like, I don't know.
All right. Well,
I was glad that fucking thing happened to that kid, though. What?
I didn't see that coming, but I wish I feel like they tiptoed around a lot of like things that happened in the house before. They didn't really. I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but I feel like there's still some mystery there for me.
Yeah, they didn't fully. I don't think they fully dove in. I think they gave little hints of, this happened, but I think that could be a slippery slope because you could get into like another parallel story that takes over. So I guess in a sense, I think I agree. I think I would like to see a little bit more so we can get that sort of backstory. But I think there was probably the danger of going too deep, maybe.
Yeah, this guy's ghost hunting techniques also sucked.
Yeah, he could take we could learn a little bit from you and Tiny.
I wake up every morning at 8 a.m., usually on about 90-minute sleep on a good week.
I was going to say, I thought you go to bed at 8 a.m.
Get up, right? Give 4 different people their appropriate medication, hopefully, okay? And then without fail, wake up again at 1 p.m. thinking that I fucked up and didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way I know that I did was that I see all the empty, medicine container things that I take. And this guy's trying to prove anything by drawing a fucking chalk outline around a fucking glass of water and think, well, I obviously didn't wake up and drink it. What a stupid fucking piece of trash this guy was when it came to trying to figure out anything. And I've never seen a film ever, right? And this is the thing that this movie did worse than those American movies and certainly worse than the J-horror movies. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a fucking movie where a guy made himself look worse at every turn. More incriminated. Everything he did was you are a dumb idiot.
Yeah, because initially the police ruled, it was an accident. Right. You're fine. And then he definitely didn't do himself any favors as the story went on.
We got a fucking ghost that fucking goes through the walls and does whatever it wants in the darkness, out of the shadows. So we're gonna throw my kid in the fucking hot. What's her name? Jennifer Grey in Labyrinth, looking fucking nanny in the closet.
Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Grey.
Yeah, that was Jennifer Grey was the Dirty Dancing. Right?
One's Dirty Dancing. Ferris Bueller.
I love both of them dearly. But that's your fucking plan. That's what you're gonna do to keep them safe.
Yeah.
You are the dumbest fucking Irishman in the history of dumb fucking Irishmen.
That's a fucking bold statement.
And fucking believe me, with my last name, I could tell you that I know a lot of dumb fucking Irishmen. Like myself, I am one. But for fuck's
Dynamo
sake.
on Mars?
Yeah, look at you fucking douchebag. You dumb idiot douchebag.
All right. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we head to a verdict on this one? Anything that bears discussion?
I really enjoyed the final scene with his girl Friday, his little protege.
Yeah, she was terrific too.
And while I don't know, I kind of liked her. From the beginning.
She reminded me of I can't remember the actress's name, but from High Fidelity.
Has she been another thing? I feel like I've seen her in something else. She
Yeah,
looks super familiar.
I could see her being a companion.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
for a doctor?
Sure.
And that I thought she had a great scene when she was like, just tell me.
Right.
And that was the emotionality of that.
She loved him unconditionally, which was again, another part of this that was more interesting than any of the paranormal shenanigans. And all that camera shit, whatever it panned out to be or not, was so fucking old, but not old enough to be charmingly aped.
Yeah. Like all the quick shots.
Well, no,
the film stuff.
The fact that he was filming ghosts on camera on old film.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake! I
call Buster.
Yeah, I hope that this guy. I wish this guy got raped by a ghost
with a hatchet.
Yeah, I wish the fucking Babadufuses came and did a number on this guy. And speaking of that, 9 days later, Tiny's still fucking complaining to me about the Babadufuses saying his name.
What?
Still, he's driving around the other day.
Oh,
do you think the Babadufuses should have said his name right? Well, still complaining about that. It's like the fucking CGI fucking crows from The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, Jesus. All right, verdict time.
This movie sucks.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time for the Canal.
I'm going last.
All right, Dynamo will go last. I guess I'll go first. I actually like this movie, and maybe it's because I haven't seen a lot of these Blumhouse films. I've only seen a handful of them. I think it was really well made. I think it was fairly well written, and the sound design was standout for me. That was probably actually one of the things I enjoyed most about it. And I thought the performances were pretty good. The pacing was good. It had good gore when it was there, and I think it did a good job of building tension. We've definitely seen films that have utilized very similar plot points
And video games.
and video games, sure. But I think at some times, this one went to 11 where others didn't quite go that far. And that's what I think what I liked about it was that it pushed things a little bit more than I'm used to seeing in films like this. And I think this was more like Session 9 than it was like...
Ooh, I don't think so.
No. Well, if you see... I'm not saying it's as good or better or anything like that, but when you think of a film like this, you may think of something along the lines of like Amityville Horror, right? Because it's a ghost movie. But this was more Session 9 than it was Amityville Horror, because Session 9 had the tapes. They were playing the tapes.
Okay.
This one had the film. So I think there was sometimes that it reminded me a little bit of that, and especially with what happened at the end. Were there ghosts? Were there no ghosts? That's up to you to decide. But so this one, especially with the ending, I think it was a little unexpected. So I think this one's going to stick with me for a little while. Whereas a film like, once again, I'm not comparing it, guys, but a film like The Mist, everyone kept telling me the ending. And then when I saw the ending, I was like, I've seen stuff like that. It didn't really shock me, But this one sort of surprised me because I felt like I didn't see it going there, and I'm kind of glad that it went there. So for me, it's a treat. Ravenshadow, why don't you go?
I don't know.
I like that. I don't know. All right, Mr. Hand. Jesus. Should I order you a pizza? Sausage pizza? Eating some pizza, learning about Cuba.
Isn't it our time, Johnny? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's another
Babaduki?
It's another, CBB.
What?
What?
I don't want to say it with Myra here.
Creepy bitch bastard?
Yeah, muffs. Cinematic blue balls. Where I get excited over something and I'm along for the ride and I don't quite know. Well, I do know that I'm confused.
Well, that's a regular occurrence.
But yeah, I can go either way.
All right, by Curious George.
End of the day,
you got to pick one.
I got to pick one.
Vince McMahon.
Trick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Myra.
All right, I liked it. I kind of now that you mentioned it, Wolfie, or what do I call you, Wolfenstein?
Either one's fine. Wolfie's fine.
If you call him Wolfie, I'll get jealous.
So please, yes, that'll do.
I see what you're saying about Session 9, mostly because of the ambiance.
Yeah.
More so, maybe not. I mean, I wouldn't compare the two really, but
yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
It was evocative of it, I think, is probably what I meant.
Yeah, and you're seeing this progression of someone sort of losing their stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know. I liked it. There were points where I kind of questioned, well, what's the significance of this? And I did there were parts where I was a little bit bored, but it's one of those movies I want to go back and watch again because I feel like maybe I was missing something. Maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Overall, I would say it's a treat because I was engaged the whole time. I wanted to know what happened.
Dynamo wish you were engaged.
and I didn't see the ending coming either.
Yeah.
And I thought the spooky parts were very spooky.
Yes.
But yeah, that guy was really dumb, and I wanted to strangle him the whole movie.
So the moral of the story: Irish guys, they have the Irish curse, and they're dumb.
Yeah. No.
Right. Session 9 treat.
Well, we're not. I'm not comparing them.
That's a fucking movie.
It is a good movie. All right, Dynamo, go.
Oh. Oh shit! It's
so mad.
It's gonna have more fucking venom than Eddie Brock.
You're so mad.
Eddie Brock.
No, I'm gonna keep my shit together.
Okay.
If you have seen any of the J-horror boom of the 90s or any of the contemporary American ghost movies, I feel like you've pretty much seen this. To mention, even if you're not directly comparing it, to mention District 9 in the same breath as this film.
Session 9,
Session
not
9.
District 9.
Either or.
There's no South
Yeah,
Africans or aliens in this movie.
Either or is like, comparing Guns N' Roses to Nelson. Like, it's just like one is raw and honest and ugly, and this one is like very, very produced and contrived and product.
It's okay. Myra agrees with me, so.
Yeah. If you listen closely, you can hear my heart breaking. But like, yeah, I would like to say, because I respect you two's horror opinion so greatly, that I respect your opinion to like this film.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I am just oppressively disappointed. Like Wife and Shadow on honeymoon night.
Hey!
I am really, really let down by you two, because this is a phenomenal, boring, cinematic Mad Lib trick.
Borgasm.
Boy.
Well, what's a good ghost movie that people should check out?
Contemporary or
Just any.
I think The Changeling, starring George C. Scott, is the best ghost story movie of all time.
I'm going to say one of my favorites is Devil's Backbone.
That is maybe my number 2.
Yeah, fucking great.
But I think, you know what? It's people might hate me, but I think one of the best ones, and definitely the best in that series, and definitely the best modern ghost story, I feel like Paranormal Activity 3 is fucking terrifying.
Okay. I've never seen any of them, So there you have it, folks. It looks like we're split decisions. Too bad Tiny's not here to break the tie, so to speak. So
I don't think I could handle both Myra and Tiny liking this movie, so it's probably good.
So that is our review of the
I think she just
Canal.
likes it because she's mad at me.
No. Well, a lot of our podcasting friends really like this film. Like Cult of Muscle guys were repping it hard, and didn't El Goro really dig it too?
I don't remember, but I worship Andrea Willanen, and she likes the that fucking piece of shit last week, so I don't even remember its name. The fucking constipation or whatever it's called.
It was the Congress.
Yeah, it was the first thing.
Still what Johnny said.
So much, as my grandpa used to say, nobody's perfect. As opposed to
I thought you were going to say something
as opposed
else.
to the other thing that my
That you
grandpa
say
says.
on a
that I-
whoa.
That I won't.
Which don't
that I
bring
won't-
that back.
I won't say with Myra here.
Yeah, you say it on a weekly basis now.
Yeah, it's not cute.
It's not cute.
I don't know what they're talking about.
All right, so there you have it. We're split decision. Me and Myra both really dug it. Ravenshadow didn't know, and Dynamo thought it was boring.
What the fuck is happening to me?
We're on the same page, brother.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah. You want to switch sides, Dynamo,
Yeah.
before we finish?
To quote the poet laureate Bob Seger, I think it's time to turn the page.
All right, so that's going to do it for the review of The Canal. You can check it out on VOD and make up your own damn mind.
Yeah, but keep in mind that if you've seen any of those other movies, like dealing with the fucking idiot in this movie will be like a root canal.
I think
Tiny would have laughed at that.
I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up on Netflix very shortly as well. It seems like one of those flicks that'll be up on there soon. So
With 1.5 stars.
If you watch The Killing, you'll like this.
Yeah.
People looking through fields
Yeah, it's
in
fucking-
single file.
yeah. If you like the trailer of Gone Girl, I really feel like I don't know. Like I think I was surprised that this is right up my special lady friend's alley, and I was surprised she didn't like this one.
Oh, she didn't like it either?
No. She's continuing to fuck up my fucking queue on Netflix with a lot of trash like this. Like any 1.5 star ghost movie, like she's all about it. But she didn't like this one. I thought this was going to be our milk.
So our I know we haven't referenced them in a while, but the horrorclub.blogspot.com.
Cool folks.
Yeah, great site. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So That's another person who I saw had rated it very highly, and that's why it sort of shot up to the end of the year list because, as you know, we're doing the double feature Cram Jam to end the year, and so this one, because of how other people were talking about it, it moved up our list. So
You hit your head.
you need
Go to
the fucking
commercial.
pop. You need the pop, the pop filter.
shield.
You won't do that.
Go to commercial. No, I hit myself in the face with the pop filter.
Stop wearing like a mask, like fucking
Rocky Dennis.
Like a-
Yeah, eyes wide shut.
I like long rides in the sun.
Seeing out of one eye.
All right, we will cut to a break, and we'll be right back to discuss Cold in July.
With a special bulletin.
Okay, here we go. This is it. Greetings and salutations.
I'm Josh Gravel.
And I'm Scott LaFave.
Oh, good for you.
We want to let you know about the Arkham Film Society.
We're a small group of cinephiles programming classic, horror, cult, and exploitation film events in the Providence, Rhode Island area.
We have such sights to show you.
We try to meet a need for unconventional programming by providing affordable film events through our monthly screening series.
Be one of us.
Find us on Facebook and join our group by searching for the Arkham Film Society at facebook.com/ArkhamScreening.
Join us.
Check out our blog at arkhamfilmsociety.blogspot.com.
And stop by our Etsy and buy stuff at etsy.com/people/ArkhamScreening.
Yes, sir. You, sir. All right already. I'm hip.
We now return control of your television set to you.
I will be burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics.
What comics?
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
And we have returned.
I think that's in my top 5, my top 2 favorite songs lyrically that our guest has written.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were just checking out the Evil Streaks. That is the track Highway.
We had like a fight off air. You guys missed it.
Yeah, it was cute. It's from Talk to the Dead, and you can get it on Bandcamp and everywhere, right, Myra?
Yeah, pretty much.
iTunes, Google Music, all that stuff. Amazon, probably.
Yep.
Cool.
Now,
So-
what was the inspiration for the cover of Talk to the Dead?
It was.
The movie The Canal.
I love that movie so much. Have you ever heard of like Girls in the Garage, like those old '60s compilations? It's like all girl '60s.
No.
Bands.
It sounds like I'd love it though.
Yeah, it's sort of a spoof on because they would always have cool covers, and that's what it's based off of. So we basically posed the girls sort of like how one of those covers would have looked like, and it's actually pretty much a direct ripoff because the way the angles are, and the little records, it looks like one of those old compilations.
No, I know that one.
Oh, do you mean Talk to the Dead?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's
I
okay.
misunderstood.
It's because you hate me now.
I'm not even listening.
I know.
Talk to the Dead. All right, so that we had an idea of having me and my bandmates conjuring up the dead via Ouija board. And actually, John, my guitar player, has a really amazing collection of Ouija boards. And we asked our friend Heg. You can go to his website. I think it's www.theartofheg.com. He's so good. So what he did, we just took pictures of ourselves. Like I took a picture of me posing like that in front of a Ouija board, and then he just looked at pictures of all of us and painted that. So the guys in my band are sort of like the spirits coming out of the planchette of me talking to the dead.
For me, it's awesome. The colors remind me of when I was a kid. I used to go to right up the street from where I lived. Every couple of months, there was like a church flea market, and there would be like not like a person that had comics, but inevitably there would be like a comic at one of these tables for sale. And a lot of times there would be these Raven Balls. What was it? It was Gold Key and Dell. And a lot of these horror comics would have like covers like that that were just like that and use that sort of that sort of like color. That's sort of what it reminded me of. It and it's cool that that's almost like an unintentional thing because it's like I'm really into and it's why I love your work. I'm really into like the mindset that colors evoke, and like it just shows you that some of those things are some of those colors are just very subtly their horror.
Yep.
You know, and that skull specifically, like if you look up I'll look one up now and show you Dell horror books or Gold Key horror books, and they were a lot of the time they were just reprinting one from the other, like the skulls and stuff like that. Like that's what they look like. It was like really, really, really cool. I think that the Rev in the cover of that is uncanny too. Like
it's so funny. Like
Ravenshadow, calm down.
I've seen this image at
don't get
1,000
revved
times.
up.
Whoa! And now that we're talking about this, let's get down to brass tacks, Myra. That you're in studio.
Oh, great.
How is the Rev doing?
He actually texted me.
Ooh.
Wanted to know how the show was going.
Did you say I'm mad at Dynamo?
I have a message for the Rev and for Dynamo.
Great.
Get Legends #3 quickly.
Legends?
Yes. The DC miniseries. I believe Legends #3 is the first modern day Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah. No, I know. I have
It's
it.
like an $80 fucking book now. It's retarded.
The same thing happened with
special.
We used to give, because it wasn't the best series. It grew on me as I got older. But we used to give every year, me and my buddy Hugh Bouchard, I think Tiny was in on it, we would give that Rocket Raccoon miniseries as a gift, as like a gag.
Oh, they were, yeah.
Yeah, like as like Bob Chase.
Right,
like
right,
we would like make sure like, oh, you'd open it and you'd have all these presents and there'd be the Rocket Raccoon miniseries.
Or maybe like Vibe Complete Series.
Now those things are like $80 each. It's the fucking worst.
Yeah, the Squad books are blowing up, but yeah, they're Legends #3 is the book to get right now.
It's very weird because that movie's not even in like legit post production yet. I mean, pre-production.
Yeah, they're still. They don't film till like next year in like February, March or something like that, and they're still casting.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Yeah. So like it's crazy, but the Squad's never been reprinted in a volume.
It's a bad one.
Now's the time to get that.
Ravenshadow. Is it a new book? Is it? Or are you talking old?
No, Legends was the first DC miniseries after Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was the John Byrne, amazing. And it basically, out of Legends, it sprung the Justice League, the
one we like.
JLI came out.
Yep.
Wally West officially took the Flash mantle in that storyline. I want to say after Crisis, it was the first time Wonder Woman met the other heroes during the Perez run. But Task Force X debuted in that. Fought this dude Brimstone running amok. But that was the first modern-day Suicide Squad. And that book was in quarter bins.
Forever.
Forever. Actually, at the shop.
I bet you they're hating it because they were so dismissive for a long time. I have 3 or 4 books of... And I didn't pull it... I know he won't sell it to me now, but like Jay from Rubber Chicken probably has like... I hope he sold it, made a lot of money off it, but a complete Suicide Squad run for me because I wanted another one because every few years... Like, I don't even take care of it. Like, every few years, I think we... Every few years, I would replace it because I would just read it till it was wrecked.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come out nice omnibus trades now, though, right? Like
That's the thing. I think they'll finally do it. I mean, so much stuff happened in this book. I mean, Roy Harper had a big push for a while as Speedy. It was the debut of Barbara Gordon as Oracle.
Yep.
There was the quasi-death of the Atom and the other fake Atom. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff that probably you would see in, like, Homeland or shows like Strike Back. Is that what's on Cinemax?
Yep. One book, what was interesting about these 2 books that came out of Legends, they were books that were very much like the way cable TV is written now.
Yeah.
Because it was about this thing. It was about the Justice League, or it was about Suicide Squad, but you were also very interested in the people that were at, like, Suicide Squad had a team psychologist or psychiatrist, you know what I mean? And there was a dwarf called Oberon that hung around the Justice League base, and later on Sue Digby, the elongated man's wife. How's that costume coming?
Getting there. It's making some improvements today.
Is it too big in the pants?
See, you have to really just bring things in a bad place.
Yeah.
You served us an elongated man joke on a fucking platter.
We have a nice.
Since we're sort of like all over the place right now, I just want to ask.
It's because Tiny's not here. This is what happens. If you're mad at me, it's because Tiny didn't give me enough time. It's a different mental preparation.
He didn't even tell you.
No, he didn't.
No.
It's like the difference of a tag team match in a singles match for me. Like
or masturbation or sex with someone else.
No, not it's what I said. No. Why do you like? You guys are being extra mean to me to embarrass me. It's like when my dad would be like, when I was, would bring a lady back to the house. He'd be driving home, be like, "Remember that time you wet your pants?"
Hey son, how's the rash?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Same jokes as always. Wow, this is the first time I want not bringing Tiny home.
This is sort of a relevant tangent, but I guess this sort of has to do with Suicide Squad. But did you see the the mid-season finale of Flash?
No.
I am still in the Captain Cold episode.
Because
Jesus Christ, really?
I haven't either.
Because I'm fucking cram jamming fucking the Canal.
You know what?
I thought you were keeping up with it like every week.
I'm on my 4th DVR in a month. How's that for crazy?
All right. Well,
no, it's because I finally told my old cable provider to go jump in a bridge.
And a few other folks.
Yeah. Do you know how much I was paying for Fios? like with all the bells and whistles, right?
A lot.
Over like well over $200 before like crazy things like old people dialing 411 at $2.99 at an instant, like 7 or 8 times a day. Like I literally had consistently a $314 phone bill, cable bill, but I switched.
Switched to Cox.
I tried Charter, just Charter. That was what was available, but I did a lot of research on it because I could have gone to like one of the dishes and stuff, but I went to Charter. I don't love their setup, but it's cheaper, so I'll take the fact that somebody keeps shutting off my internet by accident because they think it's the cable box for the last 2 days.
In the town of what do you call Shrewsbury?
Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, where the sun shines all the time.
They have their own cable company.
Of course they fucking do. Of course they do.
All right, enough about that. We have another movie to talk about.
We do, yeah.
We're gonna and I have a feeling. Well, actually, I don't know. This could go both ways. It could be a short discussion. It could be a really long one. But we are gonna review Cold in July. This film from 2014 is rated R, 109 minutes, and it is a crime thriller. You guys, you wanna speak up in class here?
I'm sorry.
Should I read your notes out loud?
I don't ever get to hang out with Myra, and I'm excited. I know it's a one-way thing, but I'm excited about it.
All right, this film was directed by Jim Mickle, and it was written by Nick Damici and Jim Mickle, based on a novel from Joe R. Lansdale. The cast is pretty much off the chain. Would you say, Ravenshadow?
It was fucking yeah.
It was fucking yeah.
Yeah. I'd forgotten that we talked last week that this was starring TV's Dexter.
Yes.
And can we talk about the cast? I mean,
let me go ahead. Michael C. Hall, a.k.a. Dexter. It's got Vanessa Shaw, Don Johnson, Sam Shepard, Nick Damici, and I thought there's someone else. No, I guess that's it for super well-known people.
What was his character in Late Phases?
Ambrose.
Yeah.
Nick Damici, yeah.
We had watched Wife and Shadow Gone Upstairs, and
you were sleeping on the couch again?
Yeah, well, it was a rough weekend. Very comfortable still though.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shit, it's the fucking Dexter and Ambrose, and I ran up to tell Wife and Shadow, fucking Ambrose is on.
And she was already asleep.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck. But that was exciting.
Yeah, so I have to come clean here. This is actually, I guess it's not that surprising, but this is the first time I've seen Michael C. Hall portray somebody that isn't Dexter. I've never seen him in anything else besides Dexter.
And he wasn't Dexter in this.
No.
No, but like
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like with the kind of like quasi mullet thing going on.
Did anybody else see him in that television show that he was in before Dexter?
6 Feet Under?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he good in?
I thought he was really good in that.
And he wasn't Dexter-y, right?
Not really, no. But you could see a little bit of the Dexter in that.
Yeah. I from what I've never seen that show either, but from what I understand, that's sort of what sort of helped him to get the role for Dexter. I guess people took a look at him in that. So
he's Jim Gordon in my Batman that nobody wants to make.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
See, I got this idea for Batman that mashes together year 1 and now 0 year and some elements of Dark Knight Returns and like into like the first season. And then the second season is Long Halloween and a lot of that first, like the year 2 Legends of the Dark Knight stuff in the year 2 miniseries. Like, I think it'd be the fucking bomb. Put the gauze as Bruce Wayne.
Oh my God.
Hush.
Huh?
Hush.
Oh, we're talking about that series, Hush?
No, I was actually asking him.
Why would the gauze not be a good Bruce Wayne?
He's blonde.
That's not a good reason.
Bruce Wayne is a brunette, sir.
What about Val Kilmer?
What about the Nolan Batman?
Batman has never had black hair.
Nope.
Oh, Keaton, does he have hair? I bet has more hair in his head.
All right, let's get into this film. So, Ravenshadow, is Michael C. Hall going to fall prey to the fictional wizard syndrome? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you gotta watch the movie to find out, man. Like, it's exciting.
No, seriously though, he he was, I think, 96 episodes of Dexter, and that's what most people know him as, right? Dexter. So, he hasn't been in all that many films. This is probably his first like major starring role outside of Dexter. So, so there you go. There's that. Who wants to lead this one? Do you want to lead this one, Dynamo?
If you want me to.
This is going to be difficult because I honestly don't want to say too much about this because there are a lot of twists and turns in this film, and I think it's best to sort of leave those to the viewer because it's still a new film. It's on VOD, Blu-ray. It's probably going to hit Netflix soon. So this is one that I think if people haven't seen, and I think it's going to end up being on a lot of best of lists at the end of the year because of what I've heard other people talk about. So this is one I don't want to spoil too much.
Or put this show on pause and watch this now because it was great not knowing what was going on.
Yeah. You know, I felt like... I know Tiny thought this, and I would be surprised if at least Wolfie didn't. But I felt like watching this, like the best way I can recommend this movie is watching this. Like if you're into the shit that I'm into, and for the like 5 or 6 of you that have read the shit that I write, you know that this is a I almost said my dad's name. This is a DynaMyra's movie right here. Every little bit of it is a DynaMyra's film.
And plus, it's very, to me, it was very reminiscent of some of, maybe not necessarily their early work, even some more contemporary, but the Coens, right?
Yeah.
This is definitely,
I agree.
Yeah.
Blood Simple, Fargo. I definitely got that vibe. And this is,
it was more, I feel like where Blue Ruin was the Coen Brothers doing this type of movie. Like that was kind of their take on it, like kind of more of a quirky spin on it. This was definitely on the nose, like a Southern fried noir.
Yep.
You know,
definitely didn't have. You're right. It didn't have that quirky sort of feel to it that the Coens.
Yeah, like this is a different tonally, but this is full of the same type of characters that probably the best like Southern Gothic of all time, which was in my opinion, or the Southern crime film of all time, which was Devil's Rejects. This is a kind of full of deplorable people, in deplorable fashion.
Well, it was 1989.
Yeah,
it's bordering on your least favorite time in the world.
Yeah, it's true. Shit was starting to get bad.
Was it specified that it was 89?
I don't think in the film.
I don't know if it was in the film, but if you look at the microwave, the telephones,
the phones, definitely,
the music,
the VCR that Tiny White had.
Yeah,
I feel like there was something in the beginning that said the year.
Did it really?
I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah, I'll get it up here and play. And I think there was. I read that it was supposed to take place there, so I couldn't remember if it was.
I'm also think I'm like starting to need glasses.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I watch movies with glasses.
That's probably so adorable.
Jesus.
This was a terrible idea.
It was your idea. Are you saying you have terrible ideas?
Yeah. Wait till tomorrow. After the conversation later tomorrow, the name of the company is just going to be Myra.
Actually, I think it did say 1989.
Did it?
Yep.
I didn't catch that. Whoa.
East Texas.
I saw East Texas.
1989.
East Texas, by the way, in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
East Texas in 2014, still not that nice.
I don't think much has changed since 1989.
Since 1979.
I guess we'll start here because it's pretty much the first scene in the movie. We have Richard Dane and his wife. Dexter plays Richard Dane, and his wife was Anne, played by Vanessa Shaw. And what happens is right away she wakes up, hears somebody in the house, wakes up her husband, and so he goes to the closet, gets out a gun, loads it up, goes to check. And of course he goes and sees that there is an intruder, someone wearing a mask. And it was a really cool scene because he's like sort of, holding the gun, pointing the gun at the intruder. and then the like grandfather clock goes off, and like it just ticked, and then he like sort of like froze and shot the guy. Once again, no spoiler. This is like within 3-4 minutes of the film, and this sets off a chain of events. The thing I thought that was really fucking cool was we've seen a million films that have somebody getting shot, right? But how many times do you see the gravity of what, like the weight of that and how it affects the people who do it, the people who were affected, like the family members, and also the town around this person? That's typically not something you get. It was like they took a real, took the microscope and went really close on what happens when something like this occurs. And I thought that was really fucking cool. And it doesn't get explored nearly enough. With film, I think what happens is we sort of gloss over these things and don't realize how they affect people on a daily basis.
I agree 110%. And once again, this is what I'm going to talk about now. It really is the first 15, 20 minutes. And what I'm saying is to try to encourage you to watch this. The intruder is dealt with. And I watched this right after the Canal. So I watched this about 1:30 last night.
Jesus.
For a brief moment, I thought that might have been like his son that was coming in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I wasn't, I was tired. But with that said, it was an intruder. And the effect of dealing with the police. And it's a small town, like everyone knows your name, like Mayberry, everyone in the coffee shop, everyone knows what you do, and everyone's different reactions to him.
It's like
as a result of this.
It's like the town that I got stuck in briefly, and you live in now.
I think you were there more than you care to admit.
I was there over the course of a 250-year.
I was there for a long. I was there for a long fucking time, but one day was a long fucking time.
Yeah, but it'd be like that. It'd be like, you know what I mean? Like he goes to the coffee shop, and even if the police, aren't pissed off at you, you still carry this. You carry this weight.
Yeah.
Ambrose was the shit as the local sheriff. Like it's just. And I loved the dealing with the next day scene.
Yep.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Because you never see that I can remember.
The only common denominator between both these films is they're not very big endorsements to get married, huh?
No. That and the high divorce rate.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, if that doesn't do it.
Both these wives were not
helpful.
Yeah, they weren't Myras, let's just say that.
No.
One thing I want to point out in this scene, so after he kills the intruder, my first thought was they really need to get a blood spatter expert in there. And I was wondering if he could sort of two-time, like pull double duty.
Oh, stupid. This is
like
weird.
Dexter comes in? No, never mind.
I noticed you didn't ask me about the wizard syndrome.
No, I threw it out there to the panel, to everyone.
Because I think if he does more of this, while you can't do a program for 9 seasons without a lot of people thinking you're that thing. But I have, for God's sakes, Jared Leto was in like 11 episodes of a fucking teenage soap opera.
My So-Called Life.
The baristas at the local Starbucks near his house are still writing Jordan Catalano on his cups. But, so he'll always...
His athletic supporter?
Yeah, he'll always be Dexter, but I think, like great actors like Harrison Ford and guys like that who have a lot of things, I think that, again, and I think Danny Radcliffe's going to do too, that you'll have, me and him are tight now, I think that you'll have...
Dan.
I think that at some point, you're going to, be talking about something that he was in 10 years down the line. Like he has this great face, this great voice. He emotes so much emotion. I have the feeling that you're going to end up saying like, oh yeah, I remember he was Dexter too. Like,
yeah, I think because it was, for me, it was a little distracting for the first 5, maybe 10 minutes. And then I didn't think of it again because he was Richard Dane, granted, he looks a little different. He's got the mustache. He's got a little bit of a mullet. I don't know if they did that on purpose.
He's Jim Gordon right here in the scene that we're watching.
Yeah. Like, I think they may have, I don't know if that was done on purpose just to make sure you don't think of Dexter, but But I think it fit his character well. It's not, it's not totally distracting to see the mustache and everything. But I think he chose this role specifically for that reason, because he wanted to do something. You want to do like a character that didn't have everything figured out. Dexter, he had everything figured out. Like, he knew his routine and everything. And in this, he's a character that sort of like doesn't really have it all together,
Sure. It was the opposite, actually.
Yeah.
And this is a hard thing. This was a hard arc to play. This is an arc that is very common in horror and fantasy films, where, once you're exposed to that other world, you kind of can't go back.
Yeah.
But like, it's not an easy role to play. It's not an easy arc to have, because in 2014, normal people, though what's interesting is he probably does, because what I was going to say, the only people who have that sort of life-changing arc are people who end up usually in like the military, because that's, when adventure happens, or high near-death experiences. And I forgot till right now that he was very, very ill for a while. Yeah. So like, maybe he channeled on that, but it's a super, super, super interesting arc for this sort of noir, because normally if you look at if you look at things like Blue Velvet, it's a very typical plot jumping on point, with a kind of normal milquetoast person is brought into this world that is, out of his element. That sort of arc where it sort of changes them is like very prominent in like fantasy and horror films. Like,
right.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah. So there was, I will attest, we're watching the movie here in the castle, and they were just cleaning up the blood. And I can attest, blood is not too fun to clean up.
That's true.
We had a crime scene here in Castle Wolfenstein once, so I can attest to that. But there's... actually, this is a good time to mention this. One of the things I thought, once again, seeing Dexter, Michael C. Hall at first was a tiny bit distracting. But I also thought the synth score seemed a bit out of place when I was listening to this at first. But as the film goes on, it feels incredibly appropriate and is especially effective at building tension.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, it seems kind of weird. Like, you have this like, Texas, like this film that takes place in Texas. You'd think that it'd be more appropriate score for that time and the period. I don't know, but I guess this is sort of an 80s type of score, but it definitely was right in Tiny's wheelhouse. I think he would have loved this. And it definitely threw me off, but I think it was super, super fitting as the film went on.
Once again, I watched them back to back. I think this is the one I kind of got some John Carpenter beats.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure,
Is that fair?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this film, probably about 20, 25 minutes in, it's sort of doing this one thing. And I guess in a way it is, I guess, similar to Blue Ruin in that sense. And then it sort of changes. This is sort of like, it's almost like playing Wheel of Fortune, or not Wheel of Fortune, but what's the Price is Right? And you're spinning the wheel, and like you get like the film changes several different times throughout, and it almost like it changes genres as you work your way through.
Yeah.
Like it starts out as one thing, and then it's something slightly different, and then something even slightly different from there, and that's why this is a dangerous to review, because I don't want to give too much of that stuff away, because I think that's part of the fun. This movie is like a journey, Yeah. And I think that you don't want to have that ruined for you, So that's why we're sort of tiptoeing around this thing. But so what happens is Richard Dane kills the intruder, and that sets off this series of events. And the intruder's father just got paroled. He comes back to town, and now he basically threatens Dane's kid. So now he's like, kind of eye for an eye. You took out my son, I'm going to take out your son.
Yeah.
And so it's the cops set up the sting operation, and basically try to track him down and use the family as bait. And eventually they catch him. There's a couple scares in there, but they catch him. And then they say they found him heading to Mexico or something like that. And so now Richard Dane and his family, they can breathe easy. Everything's over. It's all, everything's fine. And then he sees something in the police station that sort of brings up some more questions. And he goes to try to find out about these, and along the way he finds out about this conspiracy. Once again, Dynamo, maybe you can help me out here, because I feel like I'm not doing a great job because I don't want to spoil too much, What would you say is a good way to continue to talk about this film?
Well, what happens is basically he sees something in the police station that basically makes him realize that the reality that he's been... and at first I thought reality was a strong word, but even sitting next to the lovely lady who 90% of her lyrics involve shoving someone lifeless into a trunk or a bag, it's not very often that you're faced with this, police and or normal people, police and, filling out reports and someone getting killed. You're so happy it's done, you'll basically, swallow anything that they tell you. But, he sees something that has a string in this very well woven sweater that the police have sold him.
Yeah.
And he, the police tell him, don't pull that string.
Yeah.
Don't pull that string. Don't pull that string. And he pulls that string. And that's when Act 2 of this film happens. And he starts his transformation from
town schlub,
basically. Boring family man.
Yeah.
To what he ends up at is the end.
Yeah. So once again, it's going to be very difficult to discuss, but it's at about halfway through the film, Don Johnson comes on screen.
Ooh.
And he makes a fucking great entrance, right?
Don Ooh Baby Johnson.
Yeah. He looks fucking awesome. He's driving a fucking awesome car, and his character was great in this. And I think the thing is, and maybe the problem we're having here is it's tough to navigate because
being fresh.
I don't want people to have anything ruined here, but I think also one thing I want to highlight is that it's definitely not easy to navigate a script like this.
No.
And I think Mickle did a fucking amazing job of making this film, because in the hands of a lesser director, this could have gone off the rails in that second act. And
we've seen a lot of those movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the Neo-Noir that's very famous, but actually kind of harebrained? It has, I think Kevin Bacon's in it, and what's her name from Scream? About the
the Wild Things.
Wild Things.
Wild Things.
Yeah.
Okay. Denise Richards.
Yeah, while that's great on the eyes, it's not that great. No, you know what I mean? It definitely is kind of harebrained. Don Johnson certainly has a second career now.
Yeah.
Playing this character.
Yeah.
If you go all the way back to
the baseball show.
I think he was in Planet Terror.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, and
Kenny Powers' dad.
And then he was also he plays... I'm so disappointed I can't remember his name, because this one character is in 4 of my favorite films. Fuck me with a chainsaw.
Eastbound and Down, he played.
Well, this was particularly this. He was almost this character again. He plays the role that Jesus fucking Christ. It's not just Myra either. I'm fucking old.
Wasn't he the cop in the From Dusk Till Dawn TV series?
Right. Yeah, but he was. I'm trying to remember the name of that character, because that character was in Death Proof, and that character was in the 2 Kill Bill movies. Yeah. And he got blown up at the beginning of the real Dusk Till Dawn. But like, you know, he's definitely, for a guy who started out, you know, you think of Don Johnson, you think of one particular thing. Right. He's definitely been playing this character quite a lot, like this type of character, and it fits him so perfectly.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to take a step back here and talk about Jim Mickle. He's done some. We've actually talked a lot about Nick Damici and Jim Mickle.
Are you going to go watch Stakeland now? Like, you know, like,
I've seen half of it actually. I fell asleep watching.
Are you
it.
sold yet?
Oh yeah. So Jim Mickle has done Mulberry Street, which I haven't seen either. You love, right?
I started in the theater. Yeah, it was one of the 8 films to die for.
Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah.
He did Stakeland, We Are What We Are, Not We Are What We Is. And he did this. So he's directed these 4 films, and he's definitely been growing in notoriety. And this one is definitely I think this is the film that's gonna give him carte blanche to do maybe not whatever he wants to do, but I think people are going to be much more willing to give him some cash after seeing this one. But I mean, yeah, he's a very you know, I'd say he's definitely very prolific, and he's done a lot of good stuff. Just this and Stakeland alone, I think. Right. You know, and he has some genre cred for sure.
For sure. He really, I don't know, I love him. Like I think it was, I don't remember if it was Ebb or, hey, happy birthday, Tim from Korea, by the way.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's his birthday today. Yeah.
He's a great guy. And it makes me feel like an idiot when we talk about films.
Yeah.
But like, somebody was like, I was talking about the best working directors, and somebody brought up Mickle, and at this point I hadn't seen what the fuck, We Are What We Was, We Are
What We Are.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie, and I hadn't seen Cold in July, but I knew I loved Stakeland and Mulberry Street, so I was in. But you know, it's cool to have this. Like, I was trying to think of a director today who had a similar career path, you know, that was like so consistently good, but not like, I guess still at a point where he could get overlooked, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, and you know, and obviously Nick Damici's been on fire too with his acting and also with writing.
Yeah,
so.
Nick Damici's my dude.
I thought Ambrose was your dude.
Oh, sorry, Ambrose. Nick Damici as Ambrose, my dude.
Also, so about Sam Shepard, he apparently he had like basically retired from acting.
Yep. He's in a lot of stuff too. He's in The Notebook. He's in like a lot of like not these movies. I guess for lack of a better way to put it, like a lot of shit that I wouldn't see unless I lived with somebody that had a vagina.
Jesus.
Or Ryan Gosling happened to be in it.
So apparently he was able to sort of, you know, talk him out of his semi-retirement or whatever, you know, whatever if he was actually retired or not. But one of the things, and I think that added you know, a nice air of experience to it, having Sam Shepard and also Don Johnson.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, definitely helped things out here. So, but as we move forward here in the film, I'm trying to. It goes down a dark hole, and it keeps going down that dark hole in story and in what they're getting into.
May I, Wolfie?
Yeah, please.
2 things that this film, like, talking a lot about this film without having to talk about this film a lot. No one writes weird friendships like Lansdale. Like, Lansdale is the king of writing these strange, quirky friendships that don't work. And another probably pull of this movie is that this movie, in both the way its violence is presented and the way its characters are not traditional good-looking, handsome heroes, I guess. This is very much like a Peckinpah film. And a lot of the kind of subtext of this film, where the characters kind of end up, remind me a lot of. Everyone has heard me quote one of my favorite all-time films, Ride the High Country, a lot of times. And what all these characters are looking to do, whether it be the father initially, Sam Shepard's character initially looking for revenge, or Michael C. Hall's character initially trying to defend his family, and then through this spiral realizing that he never really fucking knew what that meant. All these guys are looking to do, which is my motto. This is my real motto. I'm sure everybody's heard me say it. And what these characters are striving for, they're not striving for necessarily vengeance. They're not striving for even though they're trying to solve a mystery, they figure out the mystery. You know what I mean? They get to where they are before they even start the journey, right? They figure out what I don't have a blanket term to say, but they figure out why these machinations are happening. I'm turning into Michael Ravenshadow.
You're welcome.
I'm figuring out.
You're really out of sorts without Tiny here, huh?
Yeah, it sucks. They're figuring out why. I mean, the genius next to me doesn't do me any favors either. I'm basking in her brilliance. Huh?
Yeah, we should see what Myra thinks.
Yeah. But these people are all looking to. All these people want at the start of the movie and at the end of the movie, even though they don't really understand what that means, is to be able to walk into their house justified.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as maybe only Wolfie knows, or maybe nobody listens to me at all. That's just kind of my motto. That's all I want in life. I don't want riches. I don't want fame. I don't want accolades. I want to be able to walk into my house and sit down like I deserve it. I want to be able to protect mine and provide for mine, and be a positive influence to everyone around me. And what's very interesting is everyone's role in that, the way this film goes, changes.
Yeah.
What that actually means when I can't remember the character's name, Michael C. Hall goes to bed the night that the Prowler is there.
Yeah.
And what it means when he goes back to bed at the end of the movie, which is a little heavy-handed but very nice poetry, are different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
His world is different. All their worlds are different.
Yeah.
Like imagine being a criminal your whole entire life and naturally thinking that the cops are bad, and then kind of finding out that the cops are bad.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really interesting, and what Shepard's character thinks his duty is. It's just all really, really Peckinpah, and that whole shootout at the end is really, really Peckinpah. This film, if you can't guess from my point of view, is a Picasso. I would very much like to hear what Myra thinks, because this is if I looked at 125 worth of films that we would have had Myra on to talk about, this, Neo-Noir wouldn't have necessarily been my first pick. So
so this is a noir?
This is definitely a Neo-Noir.
I'm just kidding.
That wasn't him, though.
It's too bad. I know. It's too bad MZ isn't here.
That was the one who used to sit on the right to me.
Yeah.
I loved this movie. I just to talk about one of the points that
we're
you
back
made.
Together again.
When you talked about how their roles kind of change when certain information comes to light, I think that's a hard thing to do in a movie, because to us it's like our opinion of certain characters change too.
Right.
I don't think that's easy to do. And it happens fast too.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm terrified to talk about this movie because I'm so afraid I'm going to spoil something. But everything you said, it was just the pacing. I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then just surprises kept happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of moral quandaries as well, where especially Richard Dane, Michael C. Hall's character, is faced with these dilemmas about what he should do, what's right, what's wrong, and sometimes the answer that would be what's right isn't necessarily right, Like there's that one scene that with the train tracks, which if you've seen this film, we'll know what that is. Yeah. What the fuck would you do in that situation?
Yeah, that's true.
Given what had happened prior, most people probably wouldn't have done what he did.
And I feel like he went exactly when like at the same time I broke down and thought that it was a good that's what to do is exactly when he did, like, which is just a great talk about it like in that one scene so simply and so subtly. I hate to use like such a cliche, but like that was like in that one little thing, like a tour de force like performance by Hall there. Like I really felt his decision making process and how fidgety he was. And I mean, forget about the fact that some dude was going to have something horrible happen to him regardless of what he is, and that's a bad thing to see, you know? So cool. Such a cool thing.
I kind of took that as, I guess he was doing what he needed to do in order to go to sleep that night. You know
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's certainly
to
a good
walk
way.
into his house justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way of putting it. And I guess at the end of the day, I mean, that's what most people should do. And you know, it's too bad that not more people in this world, I guess, would do something like that. You know?
Right.
You know, certainly a tough decision, and that's not the last tough decision he'll have in this movie.
Nope.
But that's sort of like the as we say, Ravenshadow, the Charles Durning point.
Sure.
Right?
That's when he hits the point of things that he can't unsee.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that it's where it's like that sort of very common horror trope like that I keep talking about. His life has changed. Because there's unfortunately a precedent for, especially probably in East Texas, having to defend your home. You know?
Yeah, and
that's real life. You know what I mean?
And that sort of would change somebody's whole perspective on a lot of things of what he saw that night.
Yeah.
You know?
And who he saw doing it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's so impactful, I think, is, you know, he's not going to be the same after that, no matter what he decides, you know?
Let me lighten up the mood a little bit and say, what is it in the cinematic ether right now that is making films full of children that I would like to populate the Leonard Skinner plane with?
Well, that was kind of an obscure reference, but I get what you're saying.
Leonard Skinner?
The Plane Crashers gang.
Yeah, the most famous Southern rock band in the world. Sorry, Depeche Mode Johnston. That I went out of
the Buddy Holly plane.
Any of
Waylon Jennings was supposed to be on that
seriously,
plane?
you guys need to like get more modern. The people that you work with, Dynamo, at your big kid job, like they have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Floor 7 of the fucking
They also
Twin
don't listen to our
Towers,
nerdy
I
fucking podcast. So, but
Maybe
Tim
they
from
should.
Korea, happy birthday, is laughing right now in between
Yes.
classes when he hears this.
And he's not going to see The Interview this weekend.
No, he's
they
not.
probably have it in
Yeah.
Korea.
But like,
They're watching
as funny as that is,
but like, I hate all these fucking kids.
Yeah.
Like never, like since Tommy Doyle in Halloween, has there been like a justification for child abuse? In my
Well,
opinion,
I was gonna say maybe it's like the government trying to like encourage people not to have children.
Total birth control.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I mean, you know, Hitler's rolling over in his grave because of all these little blonde kids of the other Aryan nation. like
Wasn't that a Janet Jackson song?
What? Yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Tiny.
Yo, he's a part of that nation.
Yeah, sure. yeah. Zig Hall, a part of the Rhythm Nation. Zig Hall, a part of the Aryan Nation.
Heil Kitty.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
What's Rev's number?
Rev specifically asked me not to give you his number.
So a couple things that were awesome about this, not like
just a couple?
aside from the fact that the movie
Everything.
was awesome. Night of the Living Dead at the drive-in.
Yep.
Fucking great. A blue demon mask.
Yes.
This fucking blue demon mask.
I wonder if that was really him. The El Hijo, the blue demon. We haven't seen that
It
guy
could
in a
have
while.
been. Maybe that's what he's been up to.
Yeah. Somebody must have stole his mask and hasn't given it back yet.
And not one, but 2 White Lion songs.
Was that White? Yeah, it was White Lion.
Yeah. Who did fucking White Lion?
Who did? How great the sound check
Who did I think it was?
Who did you think?
Great White?
No.
White Snake?
No.
How
Nelson.
can you not? Oh, come on, man. That's an insult.
White Lion had a phenomenal guitar player, but
Vito
not,
Bratta.
but not that good of a band. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Vito Bratta was pretty.
We're not
great
talking
with us,
about
yeah.
like Extreme or any other Poison. The Crew. Hey, that's my milk right there. I love that 80s hair metal.
I love fucking Motley Crue wasn't hair metal, dude.
Well, I'll agree with you there.
They weren't.
There are some bands like I'm in my favorites weren't. Like I adore Skid Row. I adore Crew. I adore GNR. Like I don't think that they were in that.
Yeah, GNR was the 80s
era.
the glam stuff. They had ballads. They had ballads like a motherfucker.
Sure,
but
they
weren't,
wrote the best ballads.
They weren't hair bands.
I love it.
I love it. We just had like a nice little detour into hair metal, or not hair metal, as
Not
it were.
hair metal.
Yeah, I love it.
So one of the interesting things I thought when I was just doing some research, originally when Nick Damici and Mickle had written the first draft of the script, it was basically verbatim, like it was the novel, and it was 220 pages long.
Wow.
And from there, I think they started to edit it down. They
I want to
basically
see that
wrote-
version though.
Yeah, that would be awesome. They basically wrote that whole thing and then started cutting away from there. And apparently the final script was also the furthest one from the novel, but felt that it was closest in spirit. And I guess they had kept Lansdale in the loop the whole time. He had seen pretty much every script, and I guess he liked how the process went. So, as we've heard, a lot of times the source or the author of the original material isn't always consulted. And if you sell something, you don't have to be consulted, but it's nice that they were doing that and consulting him on that. So, and Lansdale, we haven't talked, has a lot of comic book work as well, right? I mean, he's
it's the cat that did Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex, yeah.
And he did. Him and Truman did. Maybe it was Truman alone did Scout. But he's done some stuff. But if you want to read one of the most underrated short story collections, I believe it's called Riders of the Purple Sage. I'll re-look it up, but it has some phenomenal stories, including that's where Bubba Hotep is from, I believe. But like it's just like every single story in it was better than the last, including a great one about Godzilla in anger management classes. So, I mean, he's just a phenomenal writer. And,
he is.
And I like that he sticks to his Southern roots. You know, I like that he works in a world that he like really understands, I guess, but he goes in so many different genres.
Yeah. And of course, Bubba Hotep, and supposedly the sequel, right, was is it? Do you know if that's a real thing now, or
I don't know. I know that Bruce Campbell's not in it.
Oh, it was announced. Bubba Nosferatu, Curse of the She-Vampires. So, don't know if it's gonna. It's been announced. That's it. So
It was a while back, wasn't it?
I mean, there's been rumors since Bubba Hotep came out, and Dynamo's taking a selfie.
Taking a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, with somebody else.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a picture of me. Oh, she's so cute. Talking about me.
So
it's a good picture.
I really think that's pretty much what we can talk about. Is there anything else in this discussion that we haven't brought up that you guys would want to bring up before we move on to the verdict?
Just watch the motherfucker.
That's not what I asked. Do you have anything?
I feel it was. That's why I wanted to bring up that you all should watch this motherfucking movie. I feel like I answered your question because Dynamo was taking a selfie and Myra just is not going to be rude, but wants to be.
All right, let's do the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. Dynamo, you want to go first this time?
This is a treat. This is a fucking treat of the highest order. And the fact that this movie, like, it's getting very good reviews It's getting good reviews, but I feel like it's getting the same type of good reviews as a lot of the like middling stuff that we watched this year that I felt like was just very overrated. Hashtag the Canal. But like, it's not. It's so good. It's like it's a better movie than you've heard it is. It is great. A+, A double plus.
All right, Myra.
Definitely treat. Edge of my seat the whole time. I cared about the characters a lot. I wanted to know what was going to happen next. Treat.
Ravenshadow.
While I loved the book History of Violence, the movie wasn't what I wanted it to be. So going into this flick, has a little bit History of Violence kind of vibe, maybe a little bit of FX is Justified, but I really do like Dynamo's Southern Fried Noir comment earlier. I would love this director taking it back. Imagine this director doing Secret Six.
Sure.
And doing Deadshot Catman.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. I think Jim Mickle is terrific. Really terrific.
Yeah, this was great. Watch this now. Treat.
All right. I normally have like I write down like my thoughts about a film after watching it just so I can sort of get them like the immediate reaction, and then I let them marinate and revisit them. But I honestly didn't have much to say after this because it's kind of a masterpiece. This film, it's very difficult to discuss without spoilers, so hopefully we did a good enough job of conveying to you some of what happens. But this film is masterfully written and directed. It looks gorgeous. The performances are fantastic. This would probably, I don't want to compare the two at all, so don't read anything into this, but I think this would be a great double feature with Blue Ruin.
Yeah.
And I think there's some similarities, but this I think is just a tour de force of storytelling, and it's sort of a more realistic take on this type of film. I think, sort of in the way that Blue Ruin is more realistic of what would happen in a revenge flick. This is sort of, you could see this happening. You could see yourself being in some of these situations, I think. Well, maybe not all of them, but but this is just such a wonderfully made film, and it's written the script is fantastic. I would like to go back and read Joe R. Lansdale's novel.
Yeah.
But because I have not. I wonder how it compares. But what they did with the film, Nick Damici and Jim Mickle, what they were able to do with the script and Mickle with the direction is astounding. And I have a feeling this is going to show up in a lot of best of the year lists on this show. This is definitely a treat of the highest order. Definitely go see this film as soon as you can. Watch it on VOD. Catch it on Blu-ray. Hopefully it'll end up being on Netflix soon, but you definitely need to check this flick out for sure. All right, anyone have anything else to add? I think we pretty much covered it all with that film, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was a treat, so you need to seek this movie out immediately, Ravenshadow, right?
Yep.
And if you can, use our Amazon link, right?
Oh, shit. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps keep the lights on.
That's right. So we actually got... I don't know which film he reviewed, but we ended up getting our boy Josh from the Arkham Film Society called in a review. So I don't know. That's why I didn't play it earlier, because I don't know if he talked about the Canal or about Cold in July. So why don't we just go check out what Josh has to say, and he'll review one of these movies.
Hello, Trick or Treat Radio, fellas. It's Josh from the Arkham Film Society again.
And lady.
Calling in with my thoughts on this week's films. I don't know, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation. So, bad news is The Canal. 2014.
I love Josh. I love
Irish film.
Tiebreaker.
I'm sorry. The film had some good looking scenes, had a couple good jump scares, but overall, nothing got me really invested in the characters. It seemed to be a jumbled mess of cliches, taking, something from Ringo, something from Sinister, something from this, something from that, and then on top of it all to bother
Why don't you stand and take a bow?
It looks like they started mixing up film formats in that they were starting out with that hand crank camera that looked like it was running for 35, but then in the climax of the film, when they watched the film at the house, they're clearly running a 16. So that was kind of the last straw for me.
I meant to bring that
right
up
out of
too.
the film. Sorry,
Yeah, right.
I mean, if the people that made this make something else that gets some hype, I'll definitely check it out. But I do not recommend the Canal. But on a Cold in July, I highly recommend Cold in July. I've been a longtime fan of Jim Mickle's work, and again here he's working with Nick Damici again, who helped co-write this film. I know they've been working on this film for a long time, because I remember they mentioned to me years ago that they were working on a Lansdale script, so this has to have been it. Now this is like a great taut thriller. The storyline had a couple little things that didn't kind of flush out, that I'm curious that if they do a sequel to this, would they explain everything? Because there were definitely a couple of plot holes. But overall, this is a great film. A high recommend. Amazing directing, amazing acting, great writing. This film just looks amazing. The soundtrack is phenomenal. And there just aren't enough good things for me to say about this movie. And like I said, there are a couple of plot holes or just a couple of dropped plot lines that I'm hoping if they did a sequel, they could wrap everything up in a great package. So, thanks again for having me on. And, everybody check out Cold in July, and don't feel like you gotta check out the Canal. You guys have a great night.
Thanks, Josh. Josh is he's our dude, right? Now,
Ambrose is dethroned. Now Josh.
If they made a sequel, would it be colder in July? Yeah. Or cold in August? Don't answer that, Ravenshadow.
Man, we're not in a good... Like, I am so embarrassed that we have the incredible guest and we suck. Trick.
Yeah. Our contributions to the show today. Trick. Myra's contributions. Treat. And Josh, treat. Dynamo, you feel vindicated?
I do.
Josh pretty much said exactly what you...
everything up that you said.
It's I feel like I feel like everyone with a brain would.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Huh?
Myra doesn't have a brain?
No, Myra has a huge brain.
Yeah, you said everybody.
Well,
with a brain.
I think that it's just something about the heat in the room or something. I don't know. I think maybe she was possessed by demons, and then the demons flew out. I did a sexual harassment exorcism, and then the demons flew out, and she was the real, incredible, uber brilliant, like breathtakingly beautiful, incredible eye for detail, brilliant superhero and songwriter that's sitting near us was here for the Cold in July review.
Okay.
My soul was kidnapped for a while.
And you two were here too.
Well, why don't we liven things up with a little sing, sang, soon action? What do you think?
He's back.
I'm fucking ready.
Are you lubed up?
Getting there.
I got to pee so bad though. This is terrible.
All right. Well, here's
It's the freaking big gulp.
I feel it.
Yeah. Fill it to the brim. All right. Here's sing, sang, soon.
He's a movie dragon and he wants you to know he's a really motherfucking big fan of the show. He's gonna watch movies and let you know. And he hates Ravenshadow as he thinks he's a hoe. He's sing sang, bing bang, he's sing sang soon.
What's up? This is Same Song. Let's talk about the Leprechaun Origin. Yay! Origin. But anyway, one thing I gotta tell you guys is a treat. The only reason this is so stupid. at the fourth part, okay, there's like one hot chick, a decent punk chick, a punk dude, and a complete smart-ass dude. Yes, just complete smart-ass guy. They're all walking the grassy hill. There's no a freaking stone, whatever what God say. They went to a ridiculous village, middle of nowhere. They go into a bar. Yes, it's a bar in Ireland. Who don't love a good pod? Wait, I can say it right. They are at the love pod. Did I say it right? Pub, whatever. AKA bar, a beer bar, locally for Irish people only zone. But anyway, they were outside of the village. They met this creepy old man. They were talking about legendary God, whatever, of course. Oh God, of course. Anyway, they take the three passenger or traveler, you want to call them as, to this empty house. Alright? They noticed a ridiculous town in the fucking grass. It was showing nothing until a foot movement around the grass. The old dude just shoot the hell off the grass. Guess what? He got bad aim. Because he's too drunk! Drunk Irish, you know? You Irish people do love a drink, you know? Anyway, let's do the good part. Well, they were in the cabin, yes. One of them almost got laid, but one is drunk and she was so sad. She wanted to get laid. Laid! Anyway, and the next room, they didn't get laid. He didn't want to get laid. Every guy would say, what? Why would he want to get laid with his hottie? Guess what? He was too chicken to get laid. Anyway, continue what I'm gonna say here. This chick noticed something odd around the house.
Hold on, are you wasted?
Maybe I am.
Okay, anyway,
they're all fucking freaking out. They all fucking wake up, check the house, make sure nothing pop out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, there's this little fireplace, you know, the awesome fireplace and shit like that. Anyway, they noticed something odd. This little girl, this chick, just looked down, make sure nothing happened, and they saw a hand reach to her ear, and BAM! It was a leprechaun grabbing a pot of gold. Well, not pot of gold, but a fucking earring that's gold. Anyway, where were I? Oh, there it is. They're all fucking freaking out, man. They're trying to find a fucking exit. It was shit jam up. They had to go to some other place, let's see, basement, trying to get some exit to move on, blah blah blah, can't work. Then the two dumbasses freaking open the door, surprise element to it. So they rushed to push the guy out. The old hag ran out the door, screaming like a little bitch. Ran like a bitch, trying to find the way home. Well, not way home, the way out here. Out of all of them, let me make this short. Of all of them, one chick died. Yes, in this movie, one chick died. The rest are two dumb asses, one smart ass that actually saved the girl, sacrificed himself for her. That's true love right there. End of story.
He's a super drunk dragon and he never behaves, and he's always bringing dragon chicks back to his cave. He wants something for his movie slaves. He's fing fang, sing sang,
all right, here we
sing
go.
sang, sing.
Scream, leprechaun, scream. He sucked.
Wow.
I don't know what he got into that day.
He's a silly drunk.
Dragon.
Silly drunken dragon.
I like when he makes himself laugh.
he was right.
She's a bitch.
He's very entertained by himself. Between the booze and making himself laugh, you guys have a lot in common.
Hey, well, Is that what I sound like?
Wow.
No, you are marginally more legible than him.
A little bit.
Holy cow!
He lived up to his name, Super Drunk Dragon.
This, like, seriously, like, that's more times than I had to loop the Son of Godzilla song than ever.
Wow.
All right, we have one.
But I guess it's good because we haven't heard
more-
from him in a while. So.
It's true. He had to chew up some audio there. That's like chewing up scenery, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was chewing up some villages before that.
All right, we got a voicemail from the Chayn Gang.
Oh shit!
Is this the whole Chayn Gang?
See some similarities to the.
I have the feeling that this is going to be even more drunk.
All right, let's see.
Yeah. Sing St. Road.
So this is Mary Cake, and I'm representing the Chayn Gang, and all I gotta say is that these motherfuckers are the shit. If you don't represent them, then I don't know who you are as a person. Represent, or if you don't, you have to reconsider who you are as a human being.
And this is Natty Ice representing the Chayn Gang. Just letting you know that if you don't represent, you's a bitch.
I gotta touch your ass on
Oh,
that
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah.
And let's hear from Nicole.
This is Nicola. Ain't got no Ebola.
Oh my George.
I know y'all niggas thought I had Ebola, but I don't, so suck your fucking asses.
My God.
Absolutely right. I just want you to know that the Chayn Gang is growing, the infection is spreading, and it's not killing people. But Bobby Chains from the old Chayn Gang will say, "Oh my George, we got everybody here. We got Chuck Chill Out, the chocolate chip Charlie. We got little Franny in there drinking some of what Big Franny pissed out of a pitcher. Oh my George, we are here.
Oh my George.
And we are representing right outside of the saloon, established in 2013, and it's open daily. You can get great food, and it is run by another Chayn Gang member.
Sponsored now?
I'm not sure if the other Chayn Gang bangers know that. He fucking left a voicemail as Big Fran. We may get another one of those tonight. We may get more, but just remember, all you have to do is listen to Trick or Treat Radio every Friday morning, which you can download from iTunes or Stitcher Radio, or you can listen to Unchained with Bobby Chains and the Chayn Gang, because we're growing.
And wrap it up tight, motherfucker.
Ain't nobody growing by these niggas.
Represent the motherfucking Chayn Gang.
The Chayn Gang.
Chayn Gang out.
Is this like the Trick or Treat Radio like chat line? What the fuck was that?
We don't have. I'm so relieved though.
Am I going to have the sick little censorship button ready for that?
Yeah.
I'm so relieved.
Why?
I was really afraid that Nicola had Ebola.
Wow. I don't even.
So he's got like a whole like harem.
Apparently.
One of those
He's got a
girls.
strong pimp hand.
One of those girls think I'm creepy.
Yes, you are.
One of those girls think I'm handsome.
Well, at least that's one.
Yeah,
Or
there's one. It's the
one
only
person.
girl that thinks I'm handsome. I'm the ugliest man on the planet.
So apparently Bobby Chains and the Chayn Gang has a sponsor now.
I know.
They're
Are we
talking
gonna
to
get
saloon.
jackets?
Yeah,
Like the steakhouse jackets?
Like
in
Ribera
Japan?
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Well, thanks, Chayn Gang. I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, listen. I am always happy to hear from the Chayn Gang, and I am always very, very happy to hear from the Lady Links of the Chayn Gang. So
The Lady Links.
Call in every single day. I am excited to hear. I believe maybe this weekend I'm going to get a private listening party of Mr. Chain's new audio endeavor. So I'm very, very excited about
I've heard
that.
it.
Is it awesome?
It's good. It's a good start. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard the first the inaugural.
He is aware of its technological shortcomings, but
Yeah,
I mean, if I have taught him anything, we started pretty good, but him waiting to get to a point where it sounds like whatever he eventually wants it to sound like.
Yeah.
I guess for, just wanting to get his opinion out there, especially it's more important to get those thoughts out there than, a lot of dudes I complain about it all the time. I complained about it 2 weeks ago. If I had a fucking dollar for every time I heard somebody say, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. Just do it, motherfucker.
Right.
We recorded the first Deadites thing tape that we sold at shows with a tape recorder that we kept having to re-record the whole album because we recorded it all the way through. And we had to fucking figure out how far away in this apartment we were squatting in. We had to put this tape recorder from where we were playing for the tape recorder not to distort. You know, but it got out there. It got out there. And the songs that were on there were Ghost and Executioner's Lullaby and Play to the Damned and all these songs that people still know now. Yeah. And like, you know, you just do it. You just fucking do it. You know, you just get out there and you get your ideas out there. More than ever, there is so much buzz out there. But if your ideas are there, the cream rises to the crop, man. The cream rises to the crop.
I will say I'm way anal about the audio and the way it sounds. But, you know, in going back and listening to some of our early shows recently, just because I was trying to get a list of all the movies we reviewed because we didn't keep track of that stuff early on. The show didn't sound great, and it was definitely different. It's interesting to hear. Even just the intro when I, you know, do the whole welcome to Trick or Treat Radio. Back then I was like, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Yeah.
You know, like it just was really reserved.
But,
and
you know, here's what's interesting.
Good, though. It was good.
You know, it evolves all the time. The way we do the reviews are different than the way we even did the reviews like, you know, 10 or 11 episodes ago.
Right.
Next year, I know we have a whole bunch of stuff on deck that will take the show out totally new doors. So, you know, you're just going to get out there and evolve and go, and you're not going to know what you want to do or how to do it until you do it. So you can pay $1 million. I hear a lot of good sounding podcasts that suck. They sound good, but they are boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? And I know, I mean, somebody posted a flyer that I think with this flyer is a calendar that I can boil down the night that I met Myra. Now, I know through listening that the band that I first met Myra in, she's like a gazillion times better guitar player now than she was then. But she was fucking out there on a stage, you know. I'm going to get shit now because apparently I'm having like some shaggy dog like transformation, but she was out there tearing it up and not giving a fuck. And you know, she did it. She was out there and like, you know, different bands and everything else. And like, you know, until we got the vision, that's the Evil Streaks now that I feel like in knowing you for all these years, like that's Myra's band. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess we can go back to the interview we had with Kari Andrews.
Right.
And he basically said, just get it out there.
Right.
You know, put it out there. Don't be afraid of doing something. If it's not as good as you want it to be, learn from that and apply it to the next thing, whatever that is.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. So whether it's the next comic book, the next podcast, the next movie, whatever, like you put it out there, you make it as good as you possibly can at that moment. And then you do a quick postmortem and say, what could I have done better? What can I apply to the next time I do this? And then move on. And it's out there. I know a lot of people obsess and they're like, oh, well, that was fucking terrible. Like, I can't believe I even put that out. Like, you know, like I guess some people are, you know, perfectionists and don't like putting anything out there that isn't perfect. But you know what? Like, it's out there. And you know, even our, like, just, you know, talking about the show, I guess is a microcosm, but our episode 0, like we didn't think anyone would ever hear that, but we just put it out there for the fuck of it because we're like, you know what, we did it. Let's put it out there and see what people think, you know?
Right.
And people will critique because they always do. They love telling you what they think, but but just use that, learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there's good stuff to take away from that and also bad stuff, you know, that you may not necessarily agree, but you know, like it's just good to get it out there. So, you know, if Chains is working on something, that's awesome. And, you know, we'll certainly support it. And
I mean, the idea is always the most important. The best metaphor that I can use is if you like, I was looking for something for our buddy T-Dog, and I stumbled upon one of the greatest professional wrestling matches that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And there was probably 200 people there, and it was in a poorly lit gymnasium. But those ideas got out. They made their art. It was expressive. Later on that day, on Sunday, I watched a bunch of amateurs do very well-produced horse shit for 3 hours on a WWE pay-per-view. And like, you know, you can look good and you can sound good, but you got to have the ideas. And it's very important when that high definition camera puts in front of you, or Johnny Wolfenstein slides an expensive microphone in front of you, like,
and you take the pop shield off.
Yeah, and you take the pop shield off.
Ruin it.
You know, you need time to develop the way you present those ideas. You know, so just get out there and fucking do it. I am so proud of Chains, and I'm proud that he went out there and do it, and I'm proud that we may have inspired him. I'm proud that he's, bring things full circle out there. See, Chains is like my kid, right? Like you.
It's my kid.
Now, mom and dad.
Well, here's the thing, okay?
Yeah. Like Myra's face.
He's my protege.
Did you both birth him?
I started the show talking about touching asses, and he ended the show talking about touching asses.
You guys both touched asses.
So you
and
both
had
have
Bobby
fucking
James?
lawsuits pending. Right, yeah. I said I've got a better lawyer than him.
That's fair.
Then again, she's probably the one that's going to be suing me, so I'm in trouble.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a conversation we seem to have, fairly often.
Because it's important.
Absolutely, yeah. And
I hope that the guy that writes the songs for the bands listens.
Good start, Chains.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll definitely check it out. This isn't to tear it down, but Chains, if you want some feedback, like we were in your shoes, 125 episodes ago.
I know we can get a pop screen.
You're not taking that pop screen. That was more expensive than some of these mics here, which should say something. But so, all right. Well, we need to wrap things up. We just have a couple tweets. If people want to get at us via Twitter, @the Deadites is the best way to reach us. Just tweet at us. Let us know what you think of an episode, what you think of our reviews, anything like that. I'd love to get some more chatter going up on the Twitter machine, as they call it. The Twitter. Dynamo, one thing I wanted to ask you, maybe I shouldn't ask you on air, but did you hook up our boy Vesa?
Not yet, no.
Okay. But Vesa, if you're listening, Dynamo will hook you up.
It's strictly, and everyone will back me up here. I guess I am certainly at a fault because I was home for a few days in a row, and I didn't really leave the house almost at all. I went to go babysit the white children on one night.
What?
The tiny white children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tiny white children. Yeah, who were amazing. When I arrived, the girl, white, asked my special lady friend why Uncle Dynamo is so fat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Little friggin' brat. But yeah, that was the only time I left my house. But generally, for me to send you nice sounding audio files without being like super compressed or cheesy, I have to be sitting right in front of the Mac to do it. So I haven't done that at all. It's been busy, but I will, man. I promise. Ask Nathan Cody Vance or Gene Siskel's bald head.
It's Nance.
Nancy Drew. It's
NCN and not NCV.
Oh, you're right. I said my boy's name wrong. NCN is my dude. But yeah, so it takes a while, but you will be spoiled rotten.
Yep. And speaking of our dudes and people who are just putting it out there, Jeanette from Haunting TV.
I love her so much. She's such a great lady.
Had tweeted at us and said, "Who keeps me awake on my drive home from set? These guys, the Deadites."
We should make a Haunted TV Evil Streaks connection because that's a match made in heaven right there.
We connected via social media.
Yeah, you ought to because I think if they don't know you guys' music, they would dig you guys the most.
Yeah, they do great work too. So
Yeah.
if maybe we can make some connections for videos or whatever. I mean, it'd be nice to get more of a, this is sort of probably off the air stuff, but more of a collective going of,
It's
of
important.
creative minds.
I made a very. That's my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if one of my favorite directors shines a camera soon, and it goes across, a group of lady faces that are some of the coolest ladies I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I feel like I've really done something when I make that connection. So
yeah,
it's always great to make new friends and meet people that are into the same stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
I find it's harder than
it
it's
is.
hard.
We found out the hard way.
And so Jeanette was tweeting at us, and I said we typically put people to sleep, but but we're glad that we have the adverse effect on you. And she says, I may or may not have a particular messed up sense of humor. And I think that's the key right there.
I think it is.
Yep. Check.
So thank you, Jeanette. Thanks for tweeting. Thanks for checking us out. Hopefully we can, do something together soon. I don't know what, but they do some fantastic work. Go check out Haunting TV and their show Haunting Light and all the other stuff on their channel.
Now, if the fucking Canal was a quarter of as scary as a couple of episodes of Haunting Light was, then we'd have a fucking scary movie.
Or as scary as Ravenshadow's house at 3 a.m.
It's not scary. It's just stinky.
Well, sad.
All right.
I've been in that basement before. Ravenshadow lived there. What do you think of that?
Hey,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I did a smooch on a girl.
Did a smooch on
What's the statute of limitations?
The statue.
The statute of limitations.
Why is everybody saying I'm so creepy tonight?
What? Is someone else saying it?
125 episodes plus
your
if you were going
your
to stick up for me.
your platonic harem.
Huh? I don't have a platonic harem.
What is it then?
The radiator.
No, I'm not talking about that. You're talking about our friends that are texting you, right?
No one's texting me right now.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were talking about. Who said you were creepy?
I did.
Yeah.
I did, and I can't remember what you said. You said something really creepy.
I was touching bums.
No.
Which I do from time, not to you, but from time to time I'll touch a bum here and there.
Was it Ms. M's bum? You were talking about?
Which everybody's
God.
fucking
I
grabbed.
feel like it was something creepier though.
No.
Yeah, it probably
Definitely
was.
crossed the line.
I did not cross the line.
Yeah.
If you think that's when I've crossed the line, especially with you around, you haven't been paying attention.
Well, all right.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap up the show. Myra, I want you to tell folks about the Evil Streaks and where they can find the music and where they can connect with you on social media and all that fun stuff.
Okay. You can find us on Bandcamp, iTunes. Actually, Reverb Nation has, I think, a bunch of shows. We have a bunch of shows coming up. And then we usually we'll tweet them out. So we have a Twitter and a Facebook. Facebook's probably the best way to reach us. Yeah, we're a garage band, but we've got a horror theme and a little bit of punk thrown in there. So if hopefully you check us out and hopefully you like us and shoot me an email. Let me know what you think.
No, hopefully you had better check them out.
Yeah,
that's sort of where we're going with this.
Fucking better.
I don't have enough to steal a Joshism here. I don't have enough good things to say about the Evil Streaks. I love them. They are one of the few bands. You can ask the people who live with me. You can talk to Tiny and the people who travel with me. That I listen to at least an Evil Streak song a day.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them are in very, very heavy rotation in my subsonic, and if you are looking for an incredible flyer, check this lady out because she is the bee's knees of graphic designers. If you want to learn a thing or two about marketing, check this lady out. Even if you want to know how to properly write a trashy horror anthem, check this lady out. So I really, 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 and I'm not backpedaling because I think I'm in trouble. If you've listened to the past 125 episodes of this show, it is no secret how big of a fan I am of this lady and every single thing that she does. So
we even named an episode after her. I can't remember when that was now. It was
was it Myra cakes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I baked you a cake.
You did. It was awesome.
Episode 38.
That cake. I'm still unfortunately scraping part of that cake out of my travel bag to this day.
Oh no! What happened?
Well, there was no way. I had to get the cake back to my hotel room.
Yeah, I didn't bring a cake.
Without one of those son of a bitches trying to take it and eat it. So me and my special lady friend ate it with our hands back at the hotel.
That was it was 90 episodes ago or so.
Outrageous.
And it was episode 38, Myra's Universal Cupcakes. There you go. So there's a bit of history right there.
And she reviewed The Innkeepers with us, too. I don't remember what episode that was. That was great. She wasn't mad at me then, though.
Well, lots happened.
That was back when I had only heard a few episodes. I wasn't as familiar with the show back then, so I was probably very shy and quiet.
You were shy and quiet this time.
I mean, that's just how I am.
You're firing me. That's why, though. She didn't say no, folks.
Let's go to commercial.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me and for always supporting me. And
always.
I don't friendship.
Myra,
You're very welcome.
and again, I'm not just saying this because we are in business. I'm not just saying this because
They're in cahoots, Ravenshadow?
we're in cahoots.
Yeah, a lot of
Not just saying
schemes.
this because I absolutely positively adore you as a person. Like, I have a lot of people that I adore as a person that I don't pimp their stuff. So, like, I got a strong pimp hand too. But apparently I have a probiotic harem or something. Like, I'm not sure.
What was that word?
Probiotic? What?
I'm not sure what he said.
Platonic.
Oh.
Meaning they're friends. Oh, no, you're probably still trying to get in their pants, though.
I've never tried to get into our guest pants.
Nope.
Not one time. And that's been a long time. There was a time that I probably would have tried it just because I didn't like her, the person that was in the band that she was in. But
all right. Yeah. Goodbyes are getting long.
More like vindictive.
So everyone go check out the Evil Streaks. They're playing December 18th.
A lot. They're the hardest working band in the scene.
That's now.
Yeah, that's
today.
Yeah, it's today.
It's, okay, I was like, wait, you missed the show for us?
And where is that?
It's Thursday night.
Thursday, yeah.
There's by the time people are hearing this on Friday, you missed us. But it's
Yes.
at the Shaz Keen in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Wow.
And December 23rd at Opus in Salem.
Yep, it's a little holiday shindig.
Nice.
In Salem.
There's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now in Salem, which is
Salem witches.
Well, no, my thinking is that I feel like I always felt like there should be a lot of interesting stuff going on in Salem.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's just happening now.
Opus is like an up and coming
Yeah.
club. They're starting to have really good live music.
It seems like.
The Deadites should play in Salem at some point or another.
Should.
And then the other show I have listed here, Myra, is Saturday, January 3rd at the Shop in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
We're playing with actually bands that you should check out. They're called the Twin Guns.
Excellent.
And the Long Losts. I think you would really like them. They're kind of, Twin Guns is like a death rock gothy
Nice.
thing, and then Long Lost is like a gothy punk
Nice.
thing.
I can dig it.
They're really, really good. I think you'd like it.
I can dig
you
it.
dig it? All right. I think that's going to do it. Ravenshadow, any final thoughts?
Nah, we got to go.
Yeah, you need to get a quesadilla in your belly.
Ooh.
You didn't eat yet again?
A case of something.
We had
A case of something.
we had the most delicious meal.
What'd you have? Myra cake?
Lobster mac and cheese, bread pudding.
You fucking love bread pudding.
I do. I love it the most.
All right, Dynamo, why don't you go ahead and take us... Oh, actually, before you do that, let me just say, if you want to join us live next week, remember we're going to be on
Tuesday.
I'm sorry, not January, December 23rd. We'll do it at the same time, but just make sure you join us. This is actually the last episode, the last podcast before Christmas. So if you celebrate, Hanukkah, Christmas...
It's a good point. I'm sorry about that
Kwanzaa,
from before. Ravenshadow.
Krampus.
No, that's a dude.
Oh.
It's not a holiday.
Well, you can't celebrate a dude?
No. Well, you.
I think most women
make it too easy.
celebrate that once a month.
What?
Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Oh, never mind.
Come
Let's
on.
get out of here.
Come on. I'm the creep.
When
You know
Johnny
what?
says it.
How am I the creepy one? Like, I just feel like I'm like in a bizarro world where I'm the creepy weird one, and I'm on a show with Monster Zero and Michael Ravenshadow.
Hey, and now we get along.
Yeah.
Oh, we agree.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part.
I mean, yeah, the sexy dicks were cute for a minute.
All right, we got to go. So check us out next Tuesday if you want to watch the live show. Otherwise, this is the last podcast before the holidays. So, happy holidays. I hope you get lots of coal in your stocking. Ravenshadow, that's for you.
Wow, you fucking ended the show mean, man. Kind of running amok
Shut
a little
up,
bit.
dummy.
Hey!
All right, Donna, why don't you take us out?
Google search the Evil Streaks. You will not be disappointed. Google search the Deadites. You will probably be marginally disappointed 50% of the time.
No, Bing.
Bing, the Evil Streaks. Bing, the Deadites. Ladies and gentlemen, they can't all be great. Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to episode 125 of Trick or Treat Radio. We will see you next week when we review The Guest and Borgman. I forgot to mention that with our buddy Joe from House of Horror.
Borgman.
See ya.